This is your home for the Broncos. Spring Hill Sports Live.
Plenty of time, loads up, lets it fly down the sideline. He wants Torres, he's got to come back, he makes the catch. Down, Jackson Torres. There's a chance for Spring Hill. Back set, kill for Serpan.
Nice touch there, looking for Rainforth, and he's able to find the back of the net. A first touch volley. The substituted freshman, Odell.
Gano looking for the end zone. Touchdown, Broncos on a 3rd down and 4 from the 5.
It's time for the Broncos on your home for Spring Hill High School Athletics. Spring Hill Sports Live.
The first road test of the season for the Broncos starts at Eudora District Stadium here in Eudora, Kansas, home of the Eudora Cardinals. A beautiful Friday evening here in lovely Eudora, Kansas, as we welcome you to our coverage of Bronco football here on Spring Hill Sports Live, presented by Strode Orthodontics. Hi, everyone. Alongside my partner, Matt Jones, Ken Carbajo behind the camera, I'm Brendan Bullen, and Jonesy, it never gets old, Friday night's lights, and we're excited to bring you a very interesting contest between these two teams, the Broncos and the Cardinals.
Right, it's always good to be calling a football game on a Friday night. The kids are excited, and the weather finally cooled down a little bit this week, so it should be a little more tolerable once the sun sets. And great evening for Friday Night Lights.
Of course, Strode Orthodontics specializes in creating beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. Claire Strode and the staff at Strode Orthodontics is experienced, highly trained orthodontic specialists with decades of combined experience. With locations in Olathe, Spring Hill, and Overland Park. Learn more at StrodeOrtho.com. Straight into our pregame show as out comes the rest of the Bronco Army to get ready for warm-ups. Right into our Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning pregame show. Locally owned and operated for more than 20 years, Comfort Designs is Spring Hill's heating and air conditioning company. Learn more at comfortdesigns.net or call 913-592-4453. And Jonesy, let's take a look at how both these teams performed last week. We'll start with the Broncos defending their home turf on homecoming. 35-0 shutout and a beautiful performance from Jordan Miller.
Yeah, it was an all-around good performance by the Broncos, and Tonganoxie is usually a very well-coached, disciplined team, and Spring Hill just dominated them from start to finish. And Eudora coming off a win over Bonner Springs, our Week 1 opponent. So Eudora got back on the winning track, and I think Spring Hill last weekend they made a point that they're someone to be reckoned with in the area.
Jordan Miller, 8 of 13, 92 yards and a touchdown, but that's not where he stopped at. 6 rushes, 26 yards, 3 total touchdowns, which if B.J. Harris were here, he would say one of those was basically Clayton Meek carrying Jordan Miller into the end zone.
Colin would be right.
Yeah, Colin Roundson also had a touchdown off a fumble recovery,
Yep.
So we saw an interesting big man touchdown on that night, but a beautiful 4-touchdown performance from Jordan Miller, and not to fall behind. The running game also carried behind Hank Shaver for 11 carries, 79 yards.
Yeah, it was just a good dominating performance from Spring Hill's O-line all the way to the running backs and the quarterback position. You really can't ask for much more, especially when you just have an overmatched opponent.
And, of course, when you look at the receiving core, the only receiving touchdown of the night came in the fourth quarter from Keegan Folk, who had 3 receptions for 20 yards. Passing game starting to slowly come together for Spring Hill.
Yeah, the more they can get Jordan Miller out in space and moving and give him that run-pass option and just get him to make decisions, I think the more dangerous the Broncos are.
And this defense has been outstanding. I mean, one of the top defenses in the state you're looking at right there. And it was 2 big nights, especially one, Brooks Byer, who had 9 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, and 1 quarterback hurry. That front 3 was monstrous, Matt.
Oh, they were dominating. And Tonganoxie, they tried to mix it up a little bit, and the poor quarterback just got hit every single play. I'm sure on Saturday he was really, really sore, but the Bronco, they were diverse. They threw a lot of different looks at everybody, so it'll be interesting to see what Eudora does this week coming into the game, because now they have some of that stuff on film, some of the little misdirection things they did with the defensive line and the linebackers. So we'll see how Eudora can handle it this weekend.
Byer on the season, 16 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, 2 quarterback hurries, and a pass deflection that he had against the Chieftains. That one drive alone, he had his hands up, and he basically had a whole drive where he was just outstanding. And also outstanding is that secondary. Sadler Stewart had 4 tackles and an interception, a big one in that first half.
Yeah, him and Mason Dawson back there, they really locked it up. And the only big play this season's pretty much been against just one long pass play. That's really all the Broncos have allowed defensively this season. But I think Eudora's going to come in ready to challenge that.
And Braden Bell, also another guy on the defensive side at the linebacker spot, averaging 9 tackles a game. He's got 18 tackles on the season. But also, when you look at this defense combined through the first 2 weeks, 13 sacks, 7 quarterback hurries, 24 tackles for loss, 1 interception, 5 fumble recoveries, 3 blocked punts, which 1 was returned for a touchdown, and only allowed 7 points this season, which we'll touch on that defense more in our interview with Coach Bashard. I sat down with him on Tuesday, had a nice conversation with him. But, Matt, this defense, what does it need to do tonight against this Cardinal squad?
As far as I'm concerned, they need to keep doing what they're doing. Just be disruptive and get to the quarterback and make the quarterback make the hurried decision, so the secondary and the second level can, cause those turnovers and make those big game-changing plays.
And we take a look at this Cardinal squad. They started off the season a rough loss against Topeka Hayden, but then they bounced back with a 49-0 rout against Bonner Springs, which this is a team, and fourth-year head coach Drew Steffen led by 19 returning starters on both sides of the ball.
They're hard to judge because Hayden is a traditional power, so they're always really, really good, and they're gunning for a state championship on a yearly basis. And Bonner's a team that's struggling, so it's hard to tell really what we're dealing with right now with Eudora, because they've played a perennial state power and they've played the opposite end. So I'm sure we're going to find out tonight. They're probably somewhere in between.
And of course, earning that first conference win, and they have quite a good schedule ahead of them. They travel to Ottawa next week, and we'll touch on the Cyclones a little bit later down the line. But when interviewed by several outlets, they were projected as a dark horse. And what do you see in this Eudora Cardinal squad that screams dark horse to you?
Well, they're always well coached, and Eudora's always got some athletes. So especially in Kansas, and especially at 4A and 5A football, you could be pretty successful if you have some explosive players. When you get into the really big 5A and 6A schools, that's where depth really becomes an issue. But Eudora's always got athletes, and they're always well coached, and they'll come out ready to hit you.
And that all starts on the ground game. When you look at their junior running back, Grayson Moody, who had 14 carries for 151 yards and 2 touchdowns, averaged a first down a carry against this Braves defense.
Yeah, that's going to be really hard. But the Broncos, I think they have the athletes to match them, and if they can make that first contact, and then, if the linebackers are filling and being in the right spot that they're supposed to be, then, you can make that a lot more manageable. And if you can keep them in first and second and long, then your defense is going to be able to make some big plays on third down.
Defensively, they're really good as well. Riley Neese against the Braves had 4 tackles, 2 fumble recoveries, and 2 touchdowns on those fumble recoveries. I mean, this is a guy off the edge that Spring Hill is going to have to contain tonight if they want to have any success offensively.
Right. And the Broncos have the offensive line to take care of it.
Certainly have all the depth and all the size they need to be able to try and contain this Cardinals squad, who, like Spring Hill, they can dominate in both areas of the game, but it's a matter of which team wants it more tonight.
Right.
And for a game that went to overtime last year, I mean, what are we going to see this year? Brand new coaching squad for Spring Hill, but a lot of great talent coming back for both sides.
That's right. Yep. And it'll be a fun game, and it's always entertaining. Especially Eudora has a great crowd. They have a great community support, and they have a wonderful light show when there's a home team scoring. So it'll be fun.
A true test for the Broncos here on the road. I sat down with Coach Bashard on Tuesday as he introduced the new man at the helm, back after a word from our sponsors. You're watching the Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning pregame show on your home of the Broncos, Spring Hill Sports Live.
Here at Strode Orthodontics, we are a single doctor practice, which means that I am the only orthodontist here in the practice. I will be the one guiding you through your care journey. With our experienced staff, your appointments will be more efficient and more comfortable. We love treating kids as well as adults. We want you to be happy with your experience during orthodontic treatment as well as your smile at the end. I love when patients tell me that their smile has improved their confidence and their quality of life, because a smile is for a lifetime.
Are you looking for a trusted heating and air conditioning contractor? Look no further than Comfort Designs, Spring Hill's heating and air conditioning company. Comfort Designs Heating and Air has 100% NATE certified technicians who are friendly, knowledgeable, and ready to help. They'll care for your home and complete the job with speed and precision. Locally owned and operated right here in Spring Hill for more than 20 years. Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning. See all they have to offer at comfortdesigns.net. Or schedule your appointment at 913-592-4453.
Michael Grant at Farm Bureau Financial Services is a proud supporter of Spring Hill and cheering on the Broncos. At Farm Bureau Financial Services, their number one goal is to protect you and your family. Insurance is complicated and not one size fits all. Michael and his team take pride in the relationship they build with their client members. Let them work with you to customize a plan that protects your livelihood and your future. To learn more, call Michael Grant at Farm Bureau Financial Services 913-592-2336 or visit them at 117 South Main in Spring Hill.
For 50 years, Elliott Group has been your local insurance partner. With 5 convenient locations, Elliott Group is big enough to offer the best carriers, but small enough to know your name and your insurance needs. Elliott Group is more than just insurance. They're a part of each community they serve, with a wide variety of insurance solutions to help your unique challenges. Elliott Group, where they're there for you today and for years to come. Visit them at any of their 5 locations or at ElliottInsuranceGroup.com.
Hi, I'm Katie Casey, and I'm honored to be a third-generation realtor in our Crown Realty family. My dad and grandparents started Crown Realty in 1973, and since then we have grown to become one of the largest brokerages in the Midwest. We now have 8 office locations and over 150 agents covering about 20 counties across Kansas and Missouri. Reach out to us today to experience the Crown Realty difference, where we are committed to treating our agents like family and our clients like royalty.
Welcome into our pregame show here on Spring Hill Sports Live. This is a pre-recorded coach's interview with the man himself, head coach Fred Bashard, a 253-58 career record in coaching. He's a 5-time state champion, 4 with Harrisonville, 1 with Staley. Last was at MICDS, had a 50-10 record with 4 district titles and was a runner-up in 2020. And he's got a lengthy and long-tenured Hall of Fame, I should mention, coaching tenure. And now the man at Spring Hill, Coach Bashard, how you doing? Thanks for taking the time to talk with me this afternoon.
I'm doing good. Hey, when you give me like that, that's pretty cool stuff, man. I don't know if I recognize that guy.
Oh man, so it's Tuesday, getting ready and getting set for this Eudora matchup, but you know, this is a fairly new coaching tenure for you in the state of Kansas, I should mention. But I just want to know real quickly, you know, what attracted you to this job in Spring Hill, and what was that transition like in that process, getting to be the head coach?
First off, the folks at MICDS are awesome. It was a great job. I got to work with outstanding young men. We had a great group of assistants, and it's just a Country Day School. Mary Institute Country Day School is a really outstanding place. So I actually wasn't someone who was actively searching and looking for that. As you pointed out, my background was at Harrisonville. My oldest son graduated from Harrisonville, and then we moved to Staley, and my other 4 kids graduated from Staley. So 4 of our 5 kids they call Kansas City home. And they're around, 2 in the Northland, 1 in Lee Summit, the other one over here on the Kansas side. And so at the end of the day, we have 4 grandkids over here, and Mrs. Bashard, grandma, decided St. Louis was a little further away. And actually it wasn't like a quick decision. It was just like we knew eventually we wanted to move back to the Kansas City area. And as grandkids multiplied, they're all 5 and under. It was like, all right, let's look at what are earnest opportunities. And I saw the Spring Hill job, and actually inquired with Chad Freegon, Clay Freegon's brother. I know Chad, Liberty High School head football coach. He and I are coaching friends, and known each other for a long time. And so he said, yeah, that's my brother's school. And I kind of left it there, but I was doing just a little peripheral research. And then I got an interesting call. They were a mutual friend was checking on, hey, somebody was just checking in on like the Spring Hill job, some of the candidates, and if I knew anybody who would be a really good candidate looking. And I said to them, well, I may be interested in looking at that. I kind of gandered it a little bit over Christmas, and then the more I dove into it, the more I realized what an outstanding place this is. And it's a growing school. It's just got a lot of good factions. It's got 3 middle schools that feed in. So really, I have 3 starting lineups in the 8th grade that think, hey, let's go play football, because they got a good chance to participate in middle school. And in talking with Dr. Luttrell and with Mark Williams and Kyle Kost and Clay Freegon and the rest of the administrative team, I just felt like this could be a really good fit. And my wife, she comes along. We've been married 38 years. So she's a big part of those decisions. And so we just decided it was probably time to move back this direction. And we still feel like we got a little bit of energy to coach and offer something to a school and a community and young people. So that's what brought us to Spring Hill.
And kind of wrapping into kind of the first steps, did you initially have a conversation with the team that was going to be there next year? And if so, what was that meeting like? And what were some of the standards that you decided to put in? Or is it kind of, let's just wait till summer and kind of delve in? What was that transition like to getting into meeting your new players and interacting with them?
You know what? 2 of them were part of the interview process, and I think they did it with every coach. They toured every coach. So Justin Miller, Jordan Miller. Justin didn't have many years of eligibility left, but Jordan was a rising senior last spring, and he's our starting quarterback, and it was a returning quarterback, and Duncan Pinkham. I think they were selected as 2 guys that would walk all the candidates around. And I remember walking around with them, and they, so as I talk, we're just chit chatting, and I'm like, all right, what's the thing you need to work on the most? And they said, Coach, we get better in these areas. These are areas that we think we get better in, and pointed them out. And then I said, well, what's the thing you think you do better? Like you do great. And they were like, Coach, the brotherhood here is really strong. And it's a credit to Coach Feeback and the work he did in helping culture. And Jason and I have talked quite a bit in leading up to this. And I remember thinking, I can work with that. When kids recognize that the camaraderie and the culture is really important, and the brotherhood is something that can carry the day, I thought, hey, this is something. So whenever the guys I'm a little bit upset because maybe we're not executing our 3rd down plays very well. I someday I'm going to break out. Hey, you guys, you may not like what I have to say, but you can blame Jordan and Duncan. They were the ones who approved me coming here. So, no, that was my first interaction with them, and it was outstanding. And I got to tell you, it's been awesome. We got great young men, and they bought into changes and ideas. And sometimes it's just a different voice saying the same thing that the previous guys were saying, because obviously they were having really good success prior to me ever showing up here. But and then last year in the spring, I had a chance to have a couple team meetings with them, and I got to meet with the seniors on some days. I took some days where I made it over. I kind of at one time I threw down and said I get up early, but I actually had to get up real early today because I left home at 3 o'clock to be here for a 7 o'clock meeting with our seniors. So anyway, I think they begin to say, hey, this is, they're certainly we're going to be dedicated to our craft and work it pretty well. But that first meeting maybe laid a little groundwork, talked about being a really disciplined football team, but also talked about the importance of them enjoying this journey and the different things that are part of it. So we hope that we've kind of followed up on that and honored the words that we shared at that time, that we've continued to do the good things. And again, I can't tell you enough good things about the young men that are a part of our program.
Back with more from Coach Bashard after a word from our sponsors.
For more than 20 years, Gherkin Rental has been the place to go to get the job done in eastern Kansas and western Missouri. With a huge selection of quality equipment, from roll-offs to trailers, telehandlers to generators, power washers to popcorn makers. Experienced equipment professionals and clean, well-maintained tools to help you get the job done right the first time. Gherkin Rental. Stop by any of their 13 locations across the KC Metro or call 855-GHERKINS. That's 855-437-5367.
Hers Incorporated in Spring Hill is your area's premier small engine repair shop. Before you replace that faulty trimmer or mower, let our experts get you back to work. And if you are in the market for a new handheld, we carry Maruyama and Red Max trimmers. Plus, Hers is still the best place for hydraulic hoses, cylinder repair, and mechanical control cables. If that's not enough, we're also a UPS drop-off location. To learn more, visit us at hersinc.net, call 913-247-3530, or just stop on by.
Spring Hill's hometown shop is J&T Auto Service. As a full-service repair shop, J&T Auto Service works on all makes and models. Diesels, Europeans, they do it all. From combines to Corvettes. Visit J&T Auto Service for oil changes, tires, brakes, alignments, electrical diagnostics, and so much more. Small town, friendly service with high-tech tools and training. Schedule your service at J&T Auto Service. Call 913-592-6424. You can also visit jtautoinc.com.
Find whole body wellness with Sozo Chiropractic in downtown Spring Hill. Relax and recharge with medical grade infrared. Experience natural relief with dry needling and acupuncture. Or try stem wave therapy, a cutting edge option for pain relief and healing. Whether it's you, your kids, or your family, Sozo Chiropractic is here to help you feel your best. Visit us at 102 South Main in Spring Hill or call 913-592-0010. Sozo Chiropractic. Relax, restore, and live well.
I want to go into, currently where you're at right now in Spring Hill, getting that first win against Bonner Springs, 47-7, and kind of that flex bone offense. I'm sure, in your tenure, you've seen quite a bit, but to start off the year, what was that first game like for you, taking the field for the first time and then going through that first game for you and your squad, getting a full 48 minutes with your guys?
You know what? I would tell you that it's probably, I don't think the first game excitements ever go away.
No,
Definitely not. I've done it a lot. Like, this is my as a high school head coach. It's my 26th year as a high school head coach. And I would tell you there always is going to be, and part of the eustress, the positive stress that you have on yourself is there's like everybody is cautiously optimistic or maybe just blindly optimistic that things could work really well. And then you've learned to be a little bit cautiously optimistic because you're dealing with 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids. And that there's a chance something's not going to go perfect today. And then there's an opponent across from you that's trying to keep you from doing. They're hoping the same with their team. So I know everybody goes in that week 1-0-0 and just uncertain about exactly how your team will respond. And that's why I was really pleased with the way our guys played and all phases. Like I thought our special teams were exceptional and blocking 2 punts and executing, Aiden's first extra points. He knocked them down and putting points on the board, not having to punt. Those were all really positive days. And then other than they completed a big pass and they punched it in for a touchdown. I thought the defense showed up really well against Bonner and then really just doubled down on that against Tonganoxie, who we think's a really good football team. We think we made a pretty good football team do some things that they didn't want to have to do. And that of course gave us a pretty good lead and eventually a 35-0 victory.
And then, you went on. You're averaging 41 points per game on offense, and you've only given up 7 so far this year. And, of course, you mentioned that shutout against Tonganoxie, a really good football team so far. Talk to me about how much your assistants have meant to you and helping you establish these kids and getting them ready to go week by week.
Well, we got great assistant coaches, and you know what I'm really pleased with and feel good about is the fact that I'm just telling you I have a lot different personality than Coach Feedback. So the guys who said, hey, I'm signing up again for this, they've had to adjust to me a lot. and so God bless them for having a willingness to say, all right, we know things are changing, but let's buy in and let's do this. And it's really, I think, helped the transition of our players. But what we do defensively is a defense that I told our coaches is what I want to run. This is what I want to run. I want to run it well, and we do. And so Coach Bond, Coach Jennings, Coach Shannon, Coach Stokes, and Coach Ewing have done an awesome job just coaching our defense up. And then with Coach Myers and Coach Tuttle, Coach Heidschmidt, Coach Gray on the offensive side, and Coach Epps, just this is what we're going to do offensively, and it's what we do. Like if you described our offense, I don't think you can say, hey, that's a flex bone or that's a spread or that's a whatever you would call it, or a split back veer, an I formation pro offense. I think it's just our Spring Hill offense that we call, and I think we put a lot of stress on the defense because of the different things that we're able to do.
Certainly. And, you're coming into this Spring Hill program at an interesting time because they're transitioning to a really high-powered United Kansas Conference, a highly powered 5A conference next year. Talk to me about what what you like most about what you're seeing right now in the Frontier League and, kind of looking towards next year and the future on what you're excited about with this new conference that you're going to be taking part in.
So you got to know that my context, Brandon, is related to my time in Harrisonville. Well, we were on the southern part of the city. Mm-hmm. And so we knew what was happening in Lewisburg and Spring Hill and Paola and, the different coaches. Gary and Mike are over there at those schools. And, of course, Anthony was over here, part of that time over here at Spring Hill when I'm in Harrisonville. And so at the end of the day, that was a pretty powerhouse conference back in that 05, 06, 07 when I'm down there. So that's my context. So when people initially said, hey, we're going to go in this United Kansas League, which is good, and it's appropriate because we're, nearly twice as big as the other schools in our conference. So it's an appropriate move into a different conference. And, Mill Valley So different schools have done that over the years as they've just grown and grown and grown past all this. It's eventually something that you have to right size your conference based on your school demographic. So I say all that with this, that the Frontier League still like a highly competitive football league. And I don't necessarily, I know we're entering at bigger schools, but there's some schools in the Frontier that would go tit for tat with a lot of those UKC schools. So no, I do think the high end of the UKC is they're just class 5 schools. They're just bigger, and we'll have to crank it up to compete on that high end of the UKC. We just know that that's part of it, but we're kind of built that way. We're 1,100 some odd students, and we're kind of the size of those schools. So if we're maximizing our lineup and doing our business right, then hopefully we can be the kind of program that can represent in that conference. But I certainly wouldn't want to diminish the work that the Frontier Conference and just the long storied history of the Frontier Conference. It's a really good football conference.
Well, I'm going to stay on topic of this Frontier League, as you've got the Eudora Cardinals coming up this Friday. And, both of you guys have played Bonner Springs now already off your schedule. And this is a team that, like you, they can run the football really well. They had their junior Grayson Moody have a solid game. Their defense had some really solid performances. I mean, what are you excited most about this week, and what's kind of, the preparation that's gone on for this Friday's game?
We honestly feel like, open with Bonner week 1 and Tonganoxie week 2, that Tongi was a scale up. Our week 2 opponent, we would probably gauge to say, a little better than a week 1 opponent. And week 3, with the number of returning starters that Coach Devin has coming back at Eudora, that there's a chance it's another step up, so that we kind of are scaling up our schedule. I try not to look ahead what 4 and 5 will be, but it could kind of continue that trend as we play some of these schools. So we know that we'll have to answer the bell. They're another team that runs the option or flexbone stuff, and they've come out of that sometimes, and they've got good athletes they can put anywhere on the field, and then just the surprising number of returning starters is pretty phenomenal. Like I think they have 19 starting positions returning off last year's roster is what our findings are. So I never assume that we're perfect on our findings. But I will say my assistant coaches usually are on point really well. And they were like, Coach, yeah, they got a lot of returning starters. So we have our work cut out for us for sure. We don't have 10 starters on one side, 9 on the other side of the ball. I like the work of our guys, and they've done a good job. But Eudora, it will just be a little different animal than we've had to play thus far. And so we're gonna have to just continue to think about how do we get better? How do we improve week in and week out? And, it's kind of the thing that I know as a longtime head coach that, we want to improve week in, week out, because that's the trend line, so that you're really playing outstanding football in late October into November. But we also, along that way, we want to try to capture wins. It's not just about improving. It's also
good.
Go in there and hopefully capture W's when you have a chance. So I think last year's game was an overtime football game, real exciting football game. So I'm sure I'm sure their Eudora coach Devin will have them ready to play. So I've no doubt about that. And I just think Friday nights are fun. So we're always going to be excited about the opportunity to go play a really worthy school on a Friday night.
And I think, speaking of Friday nights and how, this football team's been playing with the energy they've been playing, you have a really, really foundational community and support system behind you. And, it'll be your first road test of the season. But talk to me about what you've kind of taken in about this community and the fans, and how, you've been received in this community and how much they mean to you.
You know what? I can't tell you enough about just how positive the community, our Gridiron Club, our parents. A new guy comes in, and you don't know what you're handing your kids over to. Like I know that. Like I had, we have 5 kids. I had 4 sons that played various sports. My daughter was into theater and music and those kind of things. And like you're handing your kids over to spend a substantial time, and you hope those people in that time are honoring that what work. Like, we're in partnership of raising these kids. And so I've just been super pleased that the parents have shown us grace and at least a partial trusting of saying, hey, I'm handing this kid over to you. When you hand it back, could you make sure you've done so with care and concern and helping for the greater betterment. So the parents have been awesome in that regard. And again, we hope we always honor that. And I say that to them up front. They're handing over what they should consider their most precious commodity. Like it's their kids, it's their legacy, it's what they're passing on, and that my job is to care for them as much as they do. So I can't say enough about that. We moved into the community. My wife and I live in Old Spring Hill down we couldn't quite be Johnson County folks, Brandon. We had to draw a line. So we're in Miami County, but we appreciate the folks both on the north and the south end of our school district, and the east and the west. We think we've got wonderful people. It's a growing area. I think we've got great young people coming. We had about 170 kids at our youth football camp this summer, including 30 girls, because I think girls flag football is the next sport that it's on the horizon, and we hope it's here at Spring Hill. So some of those girls, because there were some really good ones that I think would help fill a lineup really well over there. So anyway, it's been great. I can't say enough really good things about the folks that have been welcoming to old Coach Bashard.
Coach, it's been certainly a pleasure having you in Spring Hill and taking time with us here on Spring Hill Sports Live again. Thanks for meeting with me, and wish you the best of luck this Friday. Excited to talk to you more and your staff as well.
All right. Thank you, Brandon. You take care.
You too.
And Matt, I talked to the man for half an hour. That's how well received this guy is coming into this program, and certainly you heard him there. This is a guy that holds his kids to the higher standards. He understands. He's been in the school system for over 25 years, so he understands what it means to run a program and also take care of the education system as well. I think that's something I really enjoyed about this interview. Again, thank you to Coach Bashard for taking the time to talk with me on a Tuesday afternoon.
Absolutely.
It certainly was one for the books.
You both did a wonderful job. I think your line of questioning was excellent, and just listening to him, I've been in education for over 20 years, and I've coached for a little bit longer than that, and you can tell the adults that are in it just for their own glory and to win, and you can tell the coaches that are in it, to make kids around them and adults around them better. And that came through in that interview very, very, very clear. Also, it helps, my daughter's a student at Spring Hill, so, she has very nice things to say about him, and says that he's kind, and, her being a cheerleader, that he, is respectful and inclusive of all the different student groups on campus. So, win or loss, I think they got a good one either way. The young men and women that are involved in this program are going to be better when it's all said and done.
And who better to get that connection in than Athletic Director Clay Freegon's brother,
right? I
Chad.
That. Good investigative reporting.
And speaking of, he talked about this support system on the Spring Hill side as Caden pans the camera over. Look at how full this away side is, especially the student section over there on the far left side. Yep. It's incredible.
The kids like to travel, and it's fun. They know it's a good environment, and I know Riley loves Friday Night Lights. That's what she's excited for all year. As soon as it's over, she gets sad and she's bummed out and she's ready for the next game. So, they it's not just about the football team; it's about the whole experience. That's what makes this so much fun.
And you're telling me I've been out of high school for 2 years now, and I miss it. But this is definitely the best way, kind of to get myself back in this rhythm. And it's always fun to call a football game with you and BJ and Caden. It's always a pleasure. As the Eudora Cardinals marching band takes the field, we'll step aside and take a quick break. When we come back, it's our Elliott Insurance Group pregame area matchups. You're watching Broncos football on Spring Hill Sports Live, presented by Sturdy Orthodontics.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here as part of Fort Scott Community College's John Deere Tech program. Maybe you belong here as part of the perennial playoff-bound Greyhound baseball team. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Buy one Sonic Smasher and get another free. That's right, buy one hand-smashed Angus beef Sonic Smasher and get another free. It's the dual threat quarterback of burger deals. Buy one, get one free in the Sonic app.
Hi, I'm Dr. Aaron Stoes with Paola Vet Clinic. We'd like to thank you for trusting us with the care of your pets and large animals. At Paola Vet Clinic, we're proud to be your hometown veterinarians who know and care about your family. We provide cutting-edge diagnostic services, digital radiology, ultrasound, and in-house same-day blood work, chiropractic, and reproductive services. Come in and see us at our new location here in Paola in the Industrial Park with indoor cattle and equine facilities complete with a hydraulic tip chute. With a team of 11 veterinarians, our commitment to this community makes Paola Vet Clinic the vets you can trust.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. Bronco fans can find us at 408 North Webster in Spring Hill or call 913-592-2050. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
Stupid Go Brawley internet.
Go Brawley allows you complete control over internet usage for all devices in your home from anywhere, as it should be. Visit GoBrawley.com to learn more.
Back here on Spring Hill Sports Live, Brendan Bull and Matt Jones, Kenny Carvalho behind the camera. It's time for our Elliott Insurance Group pregame area matchups. At Elliott Group, they believe building strong relationships with their clients and their community is the best way to serve them both. With offices throughout the area and online at ElliottInsuranceGroup.com. And we'll both take care of the pregame area matchups. I'll start off with games in the Frontier League, and we'll start off with our good friends in Tonganoxie. Dylan Funk, Dennis Drennan, and Brittany Funk have you covered in Tonganoxie. It's homecoming for the Chieftains. They take on the Lansing Lions. They're both coming off two-score losses. Lions lost 25-7-11, where Tonganoxie to this side of Spring Hill 35-0. And this is a get-back game essentially for Lansing. They lost to the Chieftains twice last year, one being a trip to that sub-state game against Bishop Miege last year.
Lansing's an interesting foe because that's going to be one of our upcoming opponents in the UKC, so kind of interesting to compare notes.
And then the big game in Ottawa, the Panthers taking on the Cyclones, the other two undefeated teams in the Frontier League. It's been two 30-point games for Paola and two 40-point games for Ottawa. They average 6.5 points in their last two matchups. And unfortunately now it's going to be taking quite the hit, as now Their top target, Nate Sims, the commit to the University of Kansas, is done for the rest of the year due to an injury. How does that impact the Cyclones?
I mean, anytime you lose a key player, let alone a Division I commit, it's just huge. You don't have people that can fill that void just sitting on the sideline. So that's a really hard. That's unfortunate.
The Wildcats 0-2 on the season so far, taking on Clay Center, who's 1-1 out of the North Central Kansas Conference. Lewisburg's only dropped both their games by 7 or less. And for Clay Center, they're just looking to bounce back after a 47-7 loss against Southeast of Saline, a really good program.
Yeah, I'm sure Lewisburg's chomping at the bit to get back on the field to correct things. I'm sure their coaching staff's going to have them ready, and they'll make the corrections they need as the season goes on.
Bonner Springs against the Rock Creek Mustangs, and Bonner Springs was shut out against Eudora last week. They've only scored 7 points this season, so they're wanting to try and get their offense back and going. But for Rock Creek, they're starting off strong. They had a heartbreaking upset in regionals last year against Holcomb, but for Rock Creek, it's a strong start after a tough last season.
Yeah, and Rock Creek's a considerably smaller school than Bonner Springs, because Bonner Springs is one of those large 4A, small 5A. Typically, they kind of bounce back and forth. So that's probably good for Bonner to face a smaller school, but Rock Creek's no joke. They're tough.
And finally, Baldwin and Burlington, as Baldwin is kind of hanging off that Iola hangover where they won that game 50-0, but Ottawa rolled through them 41-6 in the First Frontier League matchup for first-year head coach in Baldwin, Jeff Belcher. Burlington's rolling off a 45-7 win over Osawatomie. So both these teams had a pretty comparably easy win, but now it's time to go toe-to-toe against each other.
Right. Yeah, I don't know much about Burlington. I just know they have good facilities.
Certainly. I mean, Sports in Kansas featured them the other day.
They did. That's where I saw that.
Phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Wolf Creek money. Nuclear power, baby.
As out come the Cardinals, as the crowd that were high above here on top of the press box is looking over. And Matt, I know you've got quite a few games on your sheet. Let's take a look at them.
Yeah, we got some UKC matchups going tonight. Shawnee Heights is traveling over to Baser Linwood, and I believe you got some family watching that game. And
I do.
Heights with a dominating quarterback. We played them in the first round last year. And DeSoto at Piper. Piper will be playing next week, and DeSoto's a perennial UKC power. And other 5A action, Blue Valley is at St. Thomas Aquinas. Aquinas is looking good. They have just look like men on the sideline that aren't even getting playing time. And probably the game of the week in the state is 5A number 2 Hayes, and they're on the road at number 1 in 6A Manhattan. And Hayes, the last 2 weeks, have knocked off a number 1 team. Last week they went down to Choctaw, Oklahoma, outside Oklahoma City, and upset the defending 5A state champs from Oklahoma. And the week before they beat Derby, which is a perennial 6A power, and they were the previously number 1 ranked team in Class 6A. So that should be a great matchup, and both teams are loaded with talent and well coached, so we'll be keeping an eye on that game tonight,
and I want to go back to the Piper because they were dominating against Baser. Baser let them hang around a bit too long, but when you go back to that Baser game, they put up 13 points in the fourth quarter to put the Pirates to bed, and certainly it's been quite a showing for second-year head coach Cole Orrick and the Pirates, as we'll see them next week.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to keep an eye on that game, and we can compare notes moving into next week.
We'll step aside for just a brief moment. When we come back, it's our opening kickoff and our final thoughts before these two powerhouses, the Broncos and the Cardinals, back after this.
I've been doing real estate for 8 years now, and we've run across clients where they're interested in land, but then what do we do with it? Well, what do you want to do with it?
There's a lot of pressure on individuals now to make those decisions quickly. And I think with our experience, with our backgrounds, we know how to work with the cities and how to work with the contractors to make it a smoother process for the buyer.
So if you're looking for real estate
or land planning services,
contact us today at epre.biz.
Option Bank, community banking at its best. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
My name is Dr. Claire Strode. I'm the owner and orthodontist here at Strode Orthodontics. You may run into me out at the soccer fields or out on the baseball diamonds. The things that I love most about orthodontics are when patients tell me how much they enjoy their smile and how much more confidence they have after having their treatment. We love serving the families and people here in South Johnson County and also surrounding areas. And I look forward to serving you and your family.
Are you looking for a trusted heating and air conditioning contractor? Look no further than Comfort Designs, Spring Hill's Heating and Air Conditioning Company. Comfort Designs Heating and Air has 100% NATE certified technicians who are friendly, knowledgeable, and ready to help. They'll care for your home and complete the job with speed and precision. Locally owned and operated right here in Spring Hill for more than 20 years. Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning. See all they have to offer at comfortdesigns.net or schedule your appointment at 913-592-4453.
Back here on our Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning pregame show, and real quickly before we get into our initial thoughts, the Spring Hill Education Foundation has kicked off their annual Shift Timber campaign. Every year, Chef asks area businesses to support the mission of the Spring Hill Education Foundation. Last year, Chef donated more than $50,000 to Spring Hill schools and another $30,000 in scholarships to Broncos seniors. Help Chef, help Spring Hill schools. Pony up with a donation of any amount to Spring Hill Education Foundation, enhancing educational opportunities for Spring Hill students, staff, and patrons of Spring Hill schools. You saw the tailgate last week. There's that good old Bronco mascot. I'll keep this QR code right there for anybody who wants to donate. A small amount would work, and certainly it's going to go towards a great cause.
That's absolutely true. As a teacher, I know I benefited from Mars and Olathe, and any donation helps, and obviously it helps the schools and it helps the teachers and the kids, get those interesting, unique things that make kids just flourish.
Matt, we're just under 2 minutes left till we kick this thing off, and what are your kind of final thoughts?
I think the main thing for the offense is that the linemen need to get down to the second level. Like, we've done a really good job at the point of contact initially, but I think to pop those big runs for Coach Kachaver and Dotson, we need to get those linemen to the second and third levels to continue just hitting people in front of them so we can pop those big, long runs.
So it looks to be that the Broncos will be kicking off to start this ball game as Aiden Odell is out there with the tee, and it's time for kickoff presented by Dan the Tailor Man. With high-quality suits and tuxedos, you'll look your absolute best for any occasion with the perfect fit guaranteed. For about the cost of a rental, you'll get the suit, tie, pocket square, and lifetime alterations. Wedding, prom, or that black tie affair, call Dan the Tailor Man for a free consultation, 913-541-1192. This stadium is packed. It's electric in here so far. Queen blaring in this stadium, and we are ready, Matt. It'll be Preston White and Des Hubler back deep on the kickoff for the Cardinals. Aiden Odell Of course, the junior to kick things off for the Broncos. This game went to overtime last year. Let's see what kind of excitement we have this year. And there we are. The kick is away, and we're live from Eudora High School. This will be Preston White taking the return at the 25. Breaks the tackle, and he's going to stumble his way to the 30. The ball's out, though. And we'll see who has it.
The ball definitely came out, and there was a scrum on the ground fighting for it.
And it's Cardinal football to start things off. We could have had some early drama to start things off, but the Cardinals will retain possession.
And he had a pretty decent return to start the game, and the Broncos just put a hat right on the ball, and it popped out, looking for the Cardinals to keep possession.
So there was a question going in on who would be the quarterback going into this for the Cardinals. It looks like they're going to rock with Cy Thomas, their 5'11 sophomore. And Cy Thomas last year, 37 of 60, 631 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 258 yards on the ground, and 2 touchdowns rushing. Kind of a flex bone look as well. It's definitely a dual threat. Broncos will simulate pressure. It'll be a keeper for Cy Thomas. Gets plenty of room past the 40. Now here he goes past midfield, trying to juke a man out of bounds. And they're already marching in Bronco territory. A big run for Cy Thomas.
And that's where the linebackers need to play the quarterback in the defensive end. He got sucked in, and he was able to make the easy read for the huge gain to kick off the game.
Jake Weiss was the one that forced him out of bounds. Benny Reagan also over on that side as well. A big pickup right there. 33 yards on that carry for Cy Thomas. Be 1st and 10 at the Bronco 36. Here's a handoff to Grayson Moody. Breaks past the 30, and he's near the 25-yard line. Give him a gain of 10. And
Keelan Duncan, the ball carrier for the Cardinals.
Yeah, Bronco linebackers, those are the lanes that they need to be reliable to be there every time. In an offense like this, it's all about discipline and being where you are supposed to be. You cannot always run to the ball. You've got to stay in your lane.
Keelan Duncan was the ball carrier, pick up a 10 on that play. 1st down, moving play for the Cardinals. Another 1st down. They'll hand it off straight up the middle to Grayson Moody. Gets a cut to the outside, past the 15 to the 10. It's where he'll be forced out of bounds. Mikey Beck, the first one to shove him out. But it's another chain-moving play for Eudora.
Broncos are showing blitz, and that might be something that they need to kind of back up on a little bit. You got to have those extra players in the second level and be able to get everybody to their assignment properly.
17-yard carry for Grayson Moody, who had, again, like we mentioned, a big week for the Cardinals last week. Already getting 17 yards on his first carry. It's now 1st and goal for the Cardinals. Cy Thomas low in the flex zone offense, and somebody jumped as flags go flying. And it looks to be, we're going to march 5 yards forward as the Broncos are going to be called for offsides.
Got to be more disciplined. If you're going to blitz, it's okay to show it and it's okay to run to the line, but they're going to get you eventually.
And the Cardinal students actually get lively already. Let the Broncos know, certainly can't jump off sides here. 5 yards to go now for the Cardinals to march in the end zone. Thomas, handoff up the middle for Grayson Moody, breaks off a tackle. He's going to pile his way to the end zone. Waiting on a signal. Yep, touchdown for the Cardinals on their first drive.
Broke the initial contact and was able to plow his way to the end zone. Broncos got to get more guys all flying to the ball. Got to get multiple people making those tackles.
It's the junior Grayson Moody striking first for the Cardinals. Just a matter of a minute and 13 seconds is all the Cardinals needed to find the end zone. And now here's Caden Dunn back on for the extra point. Good snap, good hold. The kick is good. And the Cardinals on their first drive punch it in thanks to the junior Grayson Moody. 7-0 Cardinal lead. Broncos get the ball right after this.
My name is Dr. Claire Strode. I'm the owner and orthodontist here at Strode Orthodontics. You may run into me out at the soccer fields or out on the baseball diamonds. The things that I love most about orthodontics are when patients tell me how much they enjoy their smile and how much more confidence they have after having their treatment. We love serving the families and people here in South Johnson County and also surrounding areas. And I look forward to serving you and your family.
"7-0 Cardinal lead, a 5-yard touchdown run by Grayson Moody, the junior. And Matt, what were your thoughts on that drive from the Broncos defense?
I think the defense, and this is something that you could tell they're correcting it right now, they're just out of place. And that's something that can be easily fixed. Just the way that Cy Thomas did a great job pulling when he needed to, giving when he needed to.
Cameron Wells back deep to receive the kick.
As Cameron Wells is back
Grayson
deep
Moody
for
Eudora.
the Broncos, and this will be taken in near the 20 by Mason Dotson, and he's going to be stuffed at the 30-yard line. Keelan Duncan, the one to make the tackle at the 30, and there's a flag down on the play, and it looks like they might tack the Cardinals for unsportsmanlike conduct.
I didn't see what happened.
Mason Dotson with the kick return for the Broncos. Jaleel Stratton and Keelan Duncan on the stop for Eudora.
And it certainly will. Yeah, I figured once Duncan hit that celebration, that definitely was going to be something the refs were going to be quick to throw the flag on there.
Was he standing over the Bronco player or like taunting? Or
he kind of hit a flex. I think it was right near.
Yep, they'll call
right
that
nearby.
every time.
Yeah.
In high school football, if you're standing over somebody or even close. So.
As you see, head coach Drew Steffen is getting an explanation. So after being initially stopped at the 30, it's going to be marched up to the 45-yard line, and that's where Jordan Miller and company will start off.
10:43 left, first quarter.
And 1st and 10 on that 45-yard line. Jordan Miller in the backfield. Hank Kachaver to his right side. They give it to him on 1st down, and he's going to be stuffed after just a few yards. As Leland Bradshaw, one of the first ones in the mix.
Gain of 2 on the play. Tackle on the play by Eudora's Leland Bradshaw.
And it will be Leland Bradshaw getting the tackle right there. Pickup of 2 yards on that carry for Kachaver, 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, Bradshaw's a big boy. Listed at 270.
2nd down, Miller scrambling out of the pocket, runs right into coverage, and he's going to be taken down at the 45-yard line.
That's uncharacteristic of Jordan Miller. He looked like he was being a little bit maybe overly cautious. Usually he commits and makes the decision immediately, but he was just kind of floating around in there, and you either got to throw it or run it. You got to make that decision and go.
I'm going to say no gain. Rylan Nice, and I want to say Newt Trenner is one of the initial ones to get that tackle out of bounds.
3rd and long for the Broncos.
3rd down and 8 for the Broncos. No gain on that quarterback keeper from Jordan Miller. He'll be under center. It's a handoff, initially a fake, and it's just out of the reach of Mason Dotson on that play.
Dotson had room to run.
Miller's pass intended for Dotson, incomplete.
Miller's just got to be able to make that throw.
So it's going to be a 3 and out off the first drive for the Broncos, and they will send out the punt unit. And out comes Brooks Bear, I should mention now.
That's right.
Got corrected for it last week, yeah. Last year was Kachaver. This year it's Brooks Bear, so.
Yeah, we do strive to do our best.
Des Hubler back to receive the punt.
Des Hubler is back.
The punt for the Broncos.
And, of course, Brooks Bear back to punt. Perfect snap, and this one a laser beam, and Hubler is going to have to track back to the 5, falls down, and they're going to say he was down on the initial knee.
Originally, I didn't think they were going to blow the whistle. I'm like, his knee's on the ground. It's high school football. Stop it, stop it.
That was a beautiful punt from Brooks Bear, pinning the Cardinals inside their own 10.
You know, it's hard for – he's almost got to be 50 yards away from the end zone to not get a touchback.
Up by 7, 9.
Got a good strong leg.
First quarter.
And I think they're fortunate enough to not be able to have that touchback, because now you're really forcing the Cardinals to go to work.
Right.
That front three of Mason Harvey, Cole Penhallow, and Brooks Bear dominant last week against the Chieftains.
And you can see the Broncos already making some adjustments up on that front line.
1st and 10 from the 5. Pitch it out to the outside for Grayson Moody, trying to cut inside, and he's going to be stuffed.
Yeah, that was textbook play. The cornerback had pitch back responsibility, and he broke down, just made a really good, solid textbook tackle.
That was Jake Weiss sniffing it out. He only had a tackle last game, and now he's got 2 so far to start off.
Well, the first 2 teams we've seen this year primarily run in between the tackles, and Eudora is going to do a little bit of both. They're going to be very diverse, go inside, outside.
And Grayson Moody will lose a yard on that carry. 2nd down and 11 coming up for the Cardinals. It was a question whether Cy Thomas or Houston Carnegie would get the start, but they're going to keep it with Cy Thomas. It's another handoff for Moody, and this one's snuffed out as well. Everybody piling in. Plenty of hats right there, and that's kind of the motto for this defense this year, 11 hats.
Right, they've done a fantastic job. That first drive, I think, caught them off guard a little bit, and they went to the sideline, made the corrections, and you can see it on this drive right now. The kids are disciplined and doing what they're asked to do.
No gain on that play. 3rd down and 11 again from the Eudora Cardinal 4-yard line. So if you can force a 3 and out here, you're really going to ask a lot of this Eudora special teams to certainly try and pin the Broncos deep. On 3rd down, Thomas trying to keep it himself, pitches it out late to Duncan, who shoves his way to the 15. Mikey Beck able to trip him up, and it's going to move the chains for Eudora.
And that's on the cornerback. The cornerback was there being blocked by a receiver. You got to be able to fight off that block and make. Got to get to the pitch back.
And that's a 14-yard run for Keelan Duncan right there. Just getting 3 extra yards to be able to move the chains for the Cardinals. So it looked to me they were dead in the water right there on 3rd and 11.
Right, got to be disciplined against an option football team.
Fresh set of downs for the Cardinals. Handoff to Moody, and sniffing that out immediately and driving him to the ground. And Mason Harvey off the edge.
Yeah, well played. Right place, right time.
Moody with the carry. Tackle on the play by the Broncos, Mason Harvey.
Big Mason Harvey certainly been a staple on that outside edge.
Right.
They're going to give Moody no gain on that one, maybe just about an inch of a.
Yeah, it looks like a tiny bit. Closer to 10 than 9, so we'll go with 10.
Still 2nd and 10 on the 18-yard line. On 2nd down, they'll give it to Moody again, and he's rocked right there. Braden Bell.
Yeah, just a good tackle. Met him right at the point of contact, and you know, when Bear gets a full head of steam, look out.
Braden Bell, like we mentioned, he's averaging 9 tackles a game so far, 18 tackles this season. Spring Hill's leading tackler. Just does the textbook stuff correctly, and right there getting low and making that tackle. Pick up a 4 for Moody and the Cardinals. 3rd down and 6 on the 27. It's a keeper for Cy Thomas. Gets to the edge on the outside, and he's going to be forced out of bounds, and I think he's just short of the marker.
He's going to be right there. It's going to be really close to see what the spot is.
Keeps it for the carry, flag down on the play.
And there's a flag back at the 20-yard line.
Jake Wise gets credit for running him out of bounds.
So Jake Weiss is the one that will force him out of bounds, and this could be coming back. And it is going to be marching backwards. It's a hold on Eudora Cardinals.
Yeah, anytime in those situations where you have so much going on, and it's really difficult for those linemen to get out there and block on the perimeter.
And they will say that Cardinals were short of the line to gain, and Broncos, per chance, declined the penalty, so it'll be 4th down. And
so he went out of bounds. Okay, I thought that was going to be a lot closer.
It'll be at the 25.
28 for a first down.
So 4th down and matter of 3 yards. So 4th and 3, 25-yard line. Eudora's going to roll the dice and go for it. On 4th and 3, motion man out of the backfield, and Bryce Mulvihill.
Close, almost got him.
And Eudora's going to call a timeout. And we'll take one with the 5:50 to go. 7-0 lead for the Cardinals. 4th down coming up.
My name is Dr. Claire Strode. I'm the owner and orthodontist here at Strode Orthodontics. You may run into me out at the soccer fields or out on the baseball diamonds. The things that I love most about orthodontics are when patients tell me how much they enjoy their smile and how much more confidence they have after having their treatment. We love serving the families and people here in South Johnson County and also surrounding areas. And I look forward to serving you and your family.
For more than
Back here on Spring Hill Sports Live. 7-0 lead for the Cardinals. It's 4th down and 3. And it looks like they're gonna punt now.
Benny Reagan back to receive.
Benny Reagan is back deep inside the 50.
Caden Dunback in position to punt for the Cardinals.
Caden Dunback is the one back to punt for the Eudora Cardinals. And also back deep, racing back, is Keegan Folk. This punt is going to be taken in at the 37. Reagan makes a man miss, initially tripped up past the 45. I think they'll mark him down at the 47. 47, 48 is where the now final mark will be at the 48. Jarrett Phillips on the tackle on special teams for the Cardinals.
Good starting field position for the Broncos. You can't ask for it better, but all set up by that great punt on the last series. And a good defensive stand. Had one big play against them, but we're able to rally and make the Cardinals punt.
3 and out on that first drive. What's it got to be this drive now for Spring Hill?
I think we just got to stick to our run game, stick to the plan. You're only down 7-0. It's still early, so just stick to what you've planned to do.
9 returning starters on defense. On 1st down, Miller under a lot of pressure. Gets away, scrambles out to the near side of the field, trying to throw it. It's incomplete. One in Mason Dodson, but Des Hubler is there to break it up. So nothing there. 2nd down and 10, and Miller was under a lot of pressure there.
We got to be able to hold our blocks just a little bit longer, but when you have a running quarterback, it's really hard to sustain a block because you don't necessarily know where he is. So Miller is going to have to make those decisions just a little bit more efficiently.
Personnel change as Eli Hedrick is off the field. 2nd and 10 again from the 48 to the near side for Spring Hill. Miller fakes the handoff. He'll drop back to pass. Feeling the pressure. Hesitant. He'll scramble out to the far side of the field. He'll try and make a man miss, and he's going to be tackled past the 50. Gain of about 4 on that carry. It'll be 3rd down and about 6 yards coming up.
Miller showing some athleticism, making the right decision. Nobody was open. Just run and make the best of it. Now you're at least in a pseudo-manageable 3rd down.
Gain of 4 on the play.
Gain of 4, yes, indeed. 3rd down and 6, and now they're on the Eudora side of the field on the Cardinal 48, so moving from 48 to 48. It's like that Geico commercial now. I'm in Kentucky, now I'm in Tennessee. 3rd down, Miller keeps it, sniffed out well, and Miller still hard to get down. Finally now tripped up at the 45-yard line. Leland Bradshaw right there for the first initial trip.
Then Eudora showing some athleticism, being able to chase down an athlete like Jordan Miller is impressive, especially for the big boys.
Gain of 3. It's now 4th down and 3. And what does Coach Bashard do here? It looks like he'll go for it on 4th down and short.
Well, you're not looking at that big of a difference field position-wise, because if it goes into the end zone, it's a touchback, and you're out at the 20, so.
Miller goes to the hard count, under center, now steps back into the shotgun. They look on the direction for Coach Bashard, and Miller, I think, wants a timeout, and his wish will be granted for a timeout.
I'd have taken the penalty.
Broncos call their first timeout.
3:56 left to go in the first quarter. Broncos down to a 4th down when we come back.
For more than 20 years, Gherkin Rental has been the place to go to get the job done in eastern Kansas and western Missouri. With a huge selection of quality equipment, from roll-offs to trailers, telehandlers to generators, power washers to popcorn makers. Experienced equipment professionals and clean, well-maintained tools to help you get the job done right. The first time. Gherkin Rental. Stop by any of their 13 locations across the KC Metro or call 855-GHERKINS. That's 855-437-5360.
Back here on Spring Hill Sports Live, Jordan Miller and company taking a timeout, so both teams now down to 2 left. And as we wait on the personnel, and Miller is going to be out there, so the Broncos will roll the dice.
Yep, now we see why they called timeout, because they're not going to punt it. They are going to go for it, so it's good to make sure they have the play correct.
And I think Miller was, trying to get that initial hard count and now going for it. 4th down, handoff up the middle for Kachaver. Makes a man miss, breaking some tackles, and he's past the 30. And he'll roll his way to the 25-yard line.
Carry for the Broncos.
And he is a little slow to get up, and
Colton Bowser with the stop.
he's going to have to be helped off to the sideline.
That's good enough for a Bronco first down.
Yeah, Kachaver is definitely in a lot of pain there. Now they'll have to make a couple personnel changes to see fit as Miller goes from the sideline to the huddle.
I like that play. The defensive linemen were on their heels. They let the Bronco linemen fire out hard. Nobody even made contact till further down the field.
22 yards on that pickup, 1st and 10. Miller, read option, keeps it, trying to go for room, and he's going to be sacked immediately. Bryce Mulvihill, the first one to get to him. And plenty more tacklers in pursuit.
Jordan Miller with the carry. Tapped on a play by Bryce Mulvihill.
He got a lot of forward progress. They lucked out on that one.
Riley Nice in there to help out Bryce on that stop.
Loss of 2 on the play for Miller on that read option keeper. 2nd down and 12 coming up at 27.
The way things are going right now, I think the Broncos' best bet's to go north and south. We need to be hitting the holes fast. We need to go forward. Like the sides, the stuff to the outside is not there right now.
Excuse me, the 28-yard line, I should say, on 2nd down and 12. Miller will drop back. He wants a man downfield. It's Wills, and it's bobbled out of his hands, incomplete. Des Hubler and Colton Bowser in coverage for the Cardinals.
Dangerous throw. They threw into double coverage and wasn't really open.
And Miller wanted it all in the end zone. That would have been a 28-yard touchdown pass. Been the longest so far this season. Only had as many as 10. Kachaver back in. He'll get the ball on 3rd down, and he's going to be pulled down for just a couple of yards. It's right there. Nick Campbell and Braden Morris and Riley Nice, the two making the tackle. Only going to be a 2-yard pickup, and it's 4th down and 10. So only getting back to that line to gain. And it's going to be decision time here. I imagine the Broncos will roll the dice, but
it's an interesting call because it's probably too long for your typical high school field goal kicker, and we've kind of struggled on extra points. So
it'll be 36 yards.
It'd be a pretty hefty field goal, so we're going to use another timeout.
To the sideline go the Broncos. They've got 1 remaining. Minute 40 to go in the first quarter. Cardinals still up 7-0.
Hers Incorporated in Spring Hill is your area's premier small engine repair shop. Before you replace that faulty trimmer or mower, let our experts get you back to work. And if you are in the market for a new handheld, we carry Maruyama and Red Max trimmers. Plus, Hers is still the best place for hydraulic hoses, cylinder repair, and mechanical control cables. If that's not enough, we're also a UPS drop-off location. To learn more, visit us at hersinc.net, call 913-247-3530, or just stop on by.
Back here on Spring Hill Sports Live, Broncos down to their last timeout, and already in the first quarter. They burned 2 in week 1 against Bonner, but mainly it was just some, get the feel of the offense, get some jitters out, and it's the second time out and the second straight time that the Broncos are now in a 4th down situation, but this time 10 yards out compared to the 3 they used a timeout on.
Better to use a timeout now when your team is just kind of hasn't really found their identity offensively yet, and they just look maybe a step behind Eudora the whole time.
Cardinal fans, it's 4th down.
It's the Eudora crowd starting to pick up here. 4th down and 10. There's the noise. Pivotal 4th down for this Broncos offense. Trying to answer back to the Cardinals after being forced on 3 and out their first drive. Miller dropping back. He'll look downfield, and it's incomplete. Wanted Eli Hedrick.
Miller's pass incomplete, intended for Eli Hedrick.
Just low in front of him as Des Hubler was in coverage, and it's a turnover for the Broncos.
Yeah, the Cardinals secondary has played phenomenally so far. Credit to them. We've not had any open looks, and Miller's had to make some decisions that, when there's nobody open, you just kind of hope for the best. But
so the Cardinals will take over at their own 26-yard line as they break the huddle now with 20 seconds on the play clock. And in motion, it's Wenger. And on first down, nothing doing there on the carry for Grayson Moody.
Broncos running with 8 men in the box, and they're definitely loading the line of scrimmage.
Big Braden Bell on the tackle there.
No gain on the play.
There's going to be no gain, so 2nd and 10 for the Cardinals. As we're closing in on just a minute to play here in this first quarter. Beautiful, beautiful evening in Eudora, Kansas right now, I should mention. Currently 75 degrees right now. Feels like 2nd down, pitch out. Moody gets it, blocks to the outside, past the 30, past the 40, now past the 50. There goes Grayson Moody, forced out of bounds in Bronco territory at the 40. Mikey Beck the one pushing him out of bounds.
Cornerback made the running back cut inside, but that's where your linebackers got to fill, and we just had a poor angle. Credit to Eudora's running game. They are just kind of keeping Spring Hill back on our heels right now.
Big play for junior Grayson Moody. Another chain moving play for this Cardinals offense, now 44 seconds. Last carry went for 33 yards. This is Duncan on the carry, and he's going to be thrown down by Braden Bell. Gain of about 3 or 4 on that one.
Carry for Eudora.
2nd down and 6.
By Broncos, Braden Bell.
You got to feel like one of these plays, Eudora's going to try to go over the top.
You're going to say 5 yards on that pickup for Duncan. 2nd down and 5, and it looks to be the Cardinals will not run a play as time winds down to end this first quarter. We're through 12 here in Eudora. The Broncos find themselves down 7-0.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong?
Maybe you belong here, studying animal science or learning about farm and ranch management. Maybe you belong here as part of Helms Hoops on the hardwood. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
My experience at Strode Orthodontics was amazing. Like most people who had their first round of braces, I forgot to wear my retainer and so therefore had crooked teeth. I got engaged this year. I wanted straight teeth for my wedding, and so Dr. Strode was able to give me Invisalign, and now I have the straight smile that I've always wanted. We're gonna get such a welcoming experience here. The day of my wedding, I'm not going to be scared to take pictures. Now I can finally be confident with my smile on that big day.
Kona Ice Truck, always a good summer / nearing the start of fall treat, if you will.
2nd and 5 for the
Start of the second
Cardinals.
quarter, 12 minutes back on the clock. 2nd down and 6 for the Cardinals at the Bronco 36. Hand off to Duncan. Goes off a tackle on the outside, and not much running room there. Big tackle for, that was Carter Rainey off the corner. But it's a chain moving play. As a gain of 5 is all the Cardinals needed. 1st down and 10 coming up.
All right, once again, got to be assignment sound football, and, defensive secondary. Your pitch back is your responsibility. You've got to maintain the outside. You cannot get sucked in and let him have that angle, and then you're chasing somebody.
Fresh set of downs at the 31-yard line for Eudora. Inside Thomas under center. Man in motion in the backfield, handed off up the middle for Moody. Breaks a tackle, gets to the 25, and he'll be tripped up at the 24-yard line.
Moody with the carry for Eudora.
Braden Bell on the tackle there.
Play by Weiss and Bell.
Eudora just kind of trudging down the field, looks like a machine. Have the Broncos back on their heels, firing out strong.
7-yard gain on
Grayson Moody, 5'11", 175 pounds of sheer power.
Right.
You get to the outside, can get up the middle. That's how he's been doing it tonight. On 2nd down, handoff again for Moody, and he'll get to the 20-yard line, where he'll be wrapped up. I believe the first one to get there would have been Kyle Stewart.
Moody with the carry for the Cardinals. Tackle on a play by Kyle Stewart.
It was Kyle Stewart the first one to get there. Cade McKenna also credited.
Good for a Cardinal.
And Grayson Moody moves the chains once again for Eudora, now in the Bronco red zone at the 20. This Eudora team has been seamlessly moving down the field.
Just plugging along. Very efficient, very crisp.
And timeout called as Coach Steffen doesn't like what he sees there as the play clock was down to 10, and the Cardinals will also be down to their last timeout. 7-0 the score here starting off in the second quarter. You're watching Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live, presented by Strode Orthodontics.
My experience at Strode Orthodontics was amazing. Like most people who had their first round of braces, I forgot to wear my retainer and so therefore had crooked teeth. I got engaged this year. I wanted straight teeth for my wedding, and so Dr. Strode was able to give me Invisalign, and now I have the straight smile that I've always wanted. We're gonna get such a welcoming experience here. The day of my wedding, I'm not going to be scared to take pictures. Now I can finally be confident with my smile on that big day.
Quick out of the timeout is the Eudora Cardinals back here on Spring Hill Sports Live. I'm Brendan Bullen. Matt Jones beside me on color. Caden Carbajo behind the camera. Spring Hill's finest. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals, fresh into the red zone. Duncan in motion. Cy Thomas will look to pass for the first time. Has a man downfield. Bobbled around and incomplete. Mikey Beck had a tip on it.
Good play by Beck.
And it looked to me if Moody was just in the right spot, it would have been a touchdown. That would have been the second touchdown for Moody tonight.
And Moody was open. Thomas just couldn't quite get to him, and Dotson in the right, or Mikey Beck in the right spot to make a good play.
Young sophomore getting his big opportunity starting this season. 2nd and 10 again from the 20-yard line. We'll see if the Cardinals will go back to that ground game. Duncan in motion. Thomas will keep it himself, and the Broncos sniff it out. Braden Bell and Cole Penhollow right there to make the stop.
A lot of movement in the backfield for the Cardinals. Looks like Thomas kind of, maybe there's a little bit of confusion, or maybe he didn't make the decision quite quickly enough. Allowed the Broncos to get in there and make a huge play, leaving them in 3rd and long.
So Cy Thomas will lose a yard on the keeper. It's now 3rd down and 11. Now outside the red zone at the 21-yard line. I can imagine the Cardinals will probably roll the dice on 4th down, so this is 4th down territory for Eudora.
Agreed. You got 2 plays to make it.
3rd and 11. Broncos student section making some noise. It's a pitch out for Moody, and he's stopped immediately.
Huge play by the Bronco defense. Great technique, great open field tackle. Now the Cardinals, they have a much more difficult chore ahead here with a long 4th down.
Big Andrew Pullen right there making the tackle. And a loss of 5 on that play. 4th down and 16 coming up. And I mean, Poland got there immediately, and he leveled him. And it will be Caden Dunback in the special teams units to kick the field goal for about 42 yards out. Snap good, hold good. The kick sails good.
Holy cow. Give credit when credit's due. That's a heck of a kick in high school football.
43-yard field goal from Dunback has the Cardinals up 10-0.
The industry's most advanced equipment and training, state-of-the-art diagnostic tools, and the small-town friendly service you expect. That's J&T Auto Service in Spring Hill. Eliminate the veil of uncertainty with J&T Auto's digital diagnostic process. This unique service ensures transparency, clear communication, and documentation, allowing for a quick and complete repair. To learn more or to schedule an appointment, call 913-592-6424. You can also visit jtautoinc.com.
43-yard field goal from Caden Dunback as the Cardinals their second score, and the Broncos still trying to answer back any way they can, and so far it's just not been the night so far.
Now is Dunback one of Eudora soccer's finest? Do we know?
Yeah, and the Dunbacks also, Dunback certainly always talented athletes, and Dunback a soccer athlete in his own right.
Okay. Bet old Coach Earp is excited over there in the end zone.
I certainly would hope so. This one a looping kick that'll be ran up on here inside the 20 by Folk, and he had plenty of room before being leveled at the 35-yard line, and there's a flag now down at the 30.
Keegan Folk with the kick return for the Broncos. Back on the play by Jarrett Phillips and Braden Marks.
Caden Dunback, the 5'11 junior, on that 43-yard field goal. We'll wait to see what this flag is, and it's going to be a hold on the Broncos.
Flag on the play goes against Spring Hill. It's going to be holding against the Broncos.
So marching back on the initial return. So now it'll be down to the 19-yard line. Is where the Broncos offense will set up shop.
I'd like to see him run the ball, commit to running the ball. Let's get some forward stuff going where we're not stringing it to the outside.
That was our key to the games presented by the Spring Hill Chamber of Commerce. 8:38 left to play here in this first half. And looks to be a new quarterback in the backfield now for the Broncos, as Jordan Miller is out of the game now. So interesting. As I wonder what had happened on the sideline there.
Well, hopefully he's okay. I don't know if he's injured. He didn't look quite like himself after that. He had that one good long run, but other than that, hopefully Jordan's okay.
So this is Brennan Dubbert, the sophomore. We saw him last year. On 1st and 10, he'll give it to Kachaver, and he'll get only a couple of yards on that one.
That's okay. We need plays like that are positive, that are moving forward. He picked up 3 yards on the play. We can handle that for second down.
Garrett Goulet, first one off the edge to make the tackle for the Eudora Cardinals. Just a pick up of 3 on that one. Second down and 7.
3-yard gain on the play brings that base 2nd and 7 for the Broncos.
So Dubbert did not play initially whenever going through the JV roster. Was good friend and incomplete pass there, trying to get the quick out to Keegan Folk. Flag on the play. It was Blaise Rodina and Elliot Goodfriend were the two quarterbacks being thrown out in there. So we've not seen Dubbard out there today, or this year, I should say, but we'll see what this penalty is, and it's going to be a false start on the Broncos. So
and Miller's over there on the sideline talking to coach. Could have just maybe needed some tape or needed something.
Yep, there he had. Out comes Dubbard, and in comes Jordan Miller. So whatever the case may be, we don't know, and we won't speculate, but just happy to see Miller back out there. So 3rd down and 7. 2 in the backfield with Jordan Miller, Kachaver and Dotson.
Cardinals decline the penalty. That gives Spring Hill a 3rd
As they will
and 7.
decline the penalty. Eudora did on that last play. On the 22, 7 yards to go, 3rd down for Spring Hill. It's an end-around play to Brooks Bear, breaks the tackle, trying to get to the 20, and he'll be still on his feet. The referee is going to say he was down at the 22.
Brooks Bear with the reverse for
Eudora played that well, a little bit of tricky plays, and I saw Bear come in, and not usually his role.
And Spring Hill's used that end-around reverse play quite often. You saw it the last 2 weeks, and now using it there. And
no gain on the play, brings up a 4th and 7.
no gain on that initial play, so 4th down and 7, and now comes Brooks Bear to punt. It'll be Des Hubler back to punt. Des Hubler back to return on the punt, should say. High snap. Bear, laser beam kick. Hubler tracking back. She's got it at the 31. Now goes to the near side of the field to the 40, and it'll be raced out of bounds on the near side of the field.
Hubler showing some speed. Had a guy there to make the play. It's really hard to make a tackle when you're running as fast as you can with your head barreling towards somebody, and that's a really hard tackle to make.
Blake Surrey was the one that forced Hubler out of bounds.
It is confirmed that the kicker for Eudora is a starter for their soccer team, and his brother's actually a decathlete at KU. So apparently his dad threw at KU, and his mom was a decathlete. So they've got athleticism just oozing through them.
Be a block in the back against the
They'll call an illegal block at the back on the Cardinals. I didn't see a flag initially get thrown.
I didn't either.
So I wonder if it was a late flag that one of the judges had to have seen. That.
Well, I saw one of the Spring Hill players go flying it onto the turf. So usually when that happens.
This looks like you've got a moth friend that was coming to say hello to you.
I've got Caden's been struggling over there with the camera. He's trying not to move the camera.
Back things up for the Cardinals.
Error setting up here initially. There's a wasp up here.
Oh, nice.
That freaked me out. So that halted setup for a few minutes, but nothing short of just fleas and mosquitoes and flies so far. 1st and 10, handoff up the middle for Moody. Has plenty of room up the middle. Gets free past the 50, and look at him fly. He's going to be at the 31 is where he'll be tackled.
Great play by Moody. Again, they're just hit there.
Grayson Moody with the carry for the Cardinals.
Blocking better, hitting the holes hard.
For the Broncos. That gain good for a Cardinal.
Big gain for Grayson Moody, the junior. He's been all over the field tonight. Give it a gain of 32 yards on that pickup for Grayson Moody. On the 33, Thomas, quick out on the screen to Preston White, makes a man miss. He'll be down inside the 30 at about the 27.
Got to have your head up when you're going to tackle. You know, your head's down, your face mask is down. It's going to be really hard to make a tackle against a good athlete.
Siler Stewart was on the tackle, but his brother Kyle, unfortunately, just missed that first one there, but still a great effort from the Stewart brothers.
That's right, working together. Big brother's got little brother's back. And you saw after that, walked right over to him, gave him props, said, keep your head up, literally and figuratively.
Pick up a 4 on that screen pass to Preston White. 2nd down and 6 for the Cardinals. Duncan in motion. Pitch out to Moody on the outside. Has plenty of room. Past the 25. Breaks a tackle to the 20. Still in bounds past the 15. And I think they'll say he stepped out before he even got to the 15. Mark him down at the 19-yard line.
Grayson Moody with the carry for Eudora.
You know, last week we didn't, and the week before for that matter, we didn't see any very much outside action. The only plays that have really hurt the Broncos this season have been things to the perimeter and things over the top. And you can definitely see them struggling with that right now. Our outside contain just isn't there. We have players getting sucked in, and it's easy for a running back as athletic as Moody to get around the corner when there's nobody there.
It's a fresh set of downs for the Cardinals inside the red zone at the 19-yard line. It's a handoff for Moody, snuffed out well.
Broncos defense sniffed that one out.
Brooks Bear and Andrew Poland right there sniffing out that run play.
That's exactly what the PA announcer said. Broncos sniffed that one out.
Nothing there on that one. Second, or they'll say a loss of 1 initially. So big play for Poland and Bear to combine for the TFL. 2nd down and 11. Cardinals again in a threatening scoring position, and it could be done back time depending on the field position. Thomas on the keeper, late pitch out right there to White, and excuse me, that's Bryce Mulvihill was the late pitch out.
Much better played by Stewart. He kept the outside contained, and he allowed his brother to come in and make the tackle. That's how it's supposed to look. Your outside cornerbacks, they make you take that cut inside, and then your outside linebackers and your strong safeties, they come up and make the play.
And a 4 from Mulvihill. It's 3rd down and 7 back inside the red zone now. Be at the 16-yard line. Play clock down to 10. And I believe Steffen is going to burn the last timeout the Cardinals have of the first half. And he will right there. 10-0, 4:04 left to go here in the second quarter. 3rd down and 7 coming up for the Cardinals when we come back.
Make sure you guys come.
Back here on Spring Hill Sports Live. Cardinals out of timeouts. 10-0 lead for Eudora. They are inside the red zone. As again, 4:04 left to play. Coming up on our Michael Grant at Farnborough Financial Services halftime show. We'll break down the first half, give you some scores from around the area, and a preview to the second half. That coming up and more again on our Michael Grant at Farnborough Financial Services halftime show. Meanwhile, on the field, 3rd down and 7 for the Cardinals. Be at the Broncos 16. Another huge scoring opportunity for Eudora right here, Matt.
Yeah, this is a big-time stop opportunity for the Broncos.
Thomas now in the shotgun for the first time today. Fakes the handoff to Moody. Wants to throw. It's batted down. That's Brooks Bear.
Yeah, you could see that one. He did a great job being aggressive, but not too aggressive. Get those big bear paws up, and he made a great play and was almost turned into an interception.
Bring up a 4th down for the Cardinals.
It's now 4th down and 7.
Their field goal team, led by
back
Dunback.
to go to work is Caden Dunback.
See if the Broncos can get some heat.
23-yard attempt here for the Cardinals.
This is a 23-yard attempt. So 20 yards closer this time. Kick is good. And the Cardinals
got a penalty.
And a penalty, and getting a quick light show here. How about that? And they did say before the game, be aware there is going to be a light show going on.
But they didn't do it on the other. I guess it wasn't dark yet.
Now they had to wait for sunset, and
apparently.
And looks to be Coach Steffens upset about something, as I think he's going to talking to by the head referee right there. So we'll still wait on the word, as it's a 33-yard field goal. As now out comes the full referee crew to talk things over, and here we go with the final word. As running into the kicker, I believe that was.
On Spring Hill.
I didn't see it. Replay.
So a big opportunity for the Cardinals. Is wonder what they're going to do here. They're going to bring back the offense and march it.
It should be an automatic first down. Well, no.
Now running into the, it'd be roughing the kicker. Running into the kicker, it'd be a 5-yard penalty. So 4th and 2, and it looks to be that's why Cy Thomas and the offense are going to be back on the field.
And I didn't see what happened. I was looking at the ball go through.
And also we had the light show come in immediately after that field goal, so it was hard to tell.
So how did they know if it was dark?
You tell me, Matt. 4th down and 2 after the running into the kicker penalty.
That's a false start.
And that's a false start, and somebody jumped.
You know, they've been leaning
flex
forward.
Spot.
2 other plays I've noticed, Eudora's kind of had a slight movement from those wingbacks.
5-yard gift is returned.
You got to be frozen solid.
You can hear the PA announcer. That 5-yard gift is returned.
Yes. You know, his voice sounds fairly similar to ours at Spring Hill.
Yeah.
So now it's interesting. Are we going to kick now?
Dunback's back out to kick.
He is.
33-yard kick.
So 33-yard field goal, as Dunback will look to cash in on store credit possibly.
Right. A little bit of confusion, but they're out of timeout, so they can't call it.
33-yard field goal. Snap good, hold good. The kick is blocked!
Oh, and he's caught it.
And it's taken up by Mikey Beck. Plenty of room up the sideline. He's out of bounds near the 45.
No flags that I can see. What a huge turn of events for the Broncos. Mikey Beck waiting for the ball, and a huge run setting the Broncos up with 3.5 minutes left.
Brooks Bear was the one that got his hands up. And it had the perfect spin for Mikey Beck to take it all the way, mark it at the 45-yard line.
3:37 left, first half.
What kind of insanity did we just see?
I'll tell you in 3.5 minutes if the Broncos can cash in, or this is one of those opportunities in a game. You don't get very many of these in a hard-fought game. Got to take advantage of it and get some points on the board.
Fresh set of downs. Miller pitches it out to Dotson. Gets plenty of room, trying to fight for the 45. He'll be wrapped up there. Colton Bowser, one of the tacklers, and then Elijah Klobes, the other one that got there, forcing Dotson out of bounds.
The Cardinal defense is flowing so well right now. They're plugging all the gaps. Their secondary is flowing to the ball. Very efficient on defense.
No gain on that play, though, for Dotson. 2nd down and 10 at the 45 again. Now they'll go to 2 in the backfield. Miller fakes it, pitches it out to Dotson. Past the 50, breaking for the 45. And he might be just short. And he will be. So that is a completed pass from Miller to Dotson, but be pushed back quite a few yards. Say he went out at the 47.
8-yard gain on the play, 3rd and 2 for the Broncos.
So it's an 8-yard pass from Miller to Dotson. 3rd down and 2. Broncos not wasting much time. They're trying to keep that last time out. Miller keeps it snuffed out immediately.
Yeah, they
Riley
saw that
Neese
one coming right from the get-go. You can honestly, if you looked at Miller, you could see that he kind of had his body language leaning the way he was going, and the defense picked up on it immediately.
Say he was taken down at the 50. or the 49, I should say. So loss of 2.
Just inside Cardinal territory.
Now it's 4th down and 4. You just have one timeout. You're right in your territory. Why not go for it? And the Cardinals jump. So it's going to be an encroachment on the Cardinals, and that's going to move the chains on the penalty.
Flag on the play goes against the Cardinals. Offsides on Eudora.
Just an unfortunate turn of events right there for the Cardinals, but for the Broncos, finally getting success, forcing the Cardinals to jump offside right there.
Life. You know, aggressive as the Cardinal defense has been, this is where we need to see something like a screen pass or a little, you know, just something quick over the top. That doesn't have to be deep, just something to attack at that really aggressive defense.
Play clock down to 5. Broncos have to get going quick. Now down to 3, 2. Get the snap off. Miller, it's a keeper to the outside. Gets a block and forces inside near the 40. Be tackled down at the 41. Pick up a 3 on that play. 2nd down and 7 for Jordan Miller and the Broncos.
We're going to need to speed up a little bit. We're probably going to have to put the ball in the air and get rid of it quick.
As Coach Bashard will relay the play to Jordan Miller, and offensive coordinator Curtis Myers also right there. Clock now down to 50 seconds. Hand off to the outside. This is Kachaver. Stiff arms a man, breaks a tackle. There he goes past the 30 to the 20. Flag down on the play. I believe it's going to be coming back. But what could have been a big play for Kachaver.
Coach Haver stopped by Marks.
One of the few plays that have gone for positive yardage, for good constructive yardage for the Broncos, and it's going to come back.
Call on the field is holding against the Broncos.
And they'll be called for a holding, so it's going to march them back to 2nd down and 12. So
no, you kind of makes you wonder, because both teams have had some penalties, huge penalties against them. Obviously, some of them have been very apparent. Holding is always tough because holding can be called all the time. You know, we don't have the luxury of sitting here at home on the couch watching replay after replay to see, you know, how egregious was the holding. I don't know.
So it is a 10-yard penalty, excuse me there. So 2nd down and 17. Cardinals are back, or the Cardinals forcing the Broncos back to their own territory at the 49, but in the meantime, it's going to be Coach Bashard taking his final time out of the half, and we'll take one with him. 35 seconds left to go here in this 2nd quarter. Cardinals 10, Broncos 0. Back after this.
Both my older sons have come through Strode Orthodontics. It's reasonable, it's been easy to make appointments and to follow through. Adam has finished the process and they've been fabulous for following up and making sure his retainers fit correctly. My younger son, Lucas, just started at 13. I would highly recommend Strode for anyone considering it. Starting the braces process, they'll tell you what's going on and make it easy, not scary, well-informed. It's nothing you can't handle.
Broncos find themselves down 10-0. Now, after a holding penalty, backs them up inside their own territory to the 48 after they're inside the Cardinal territory. Started off at the 44.
It's been kind of a wild last 4 minutes of this half.
35 seconds, 2nd down and 17. Miller out of the shotgun. He wants to throw, feels the pressure, scrambles to the near side of the field, has plenty of room. He'll take it past the 50 to the 45 and still had plenty of room. Trying to churn to the 30-yard line.
Jordan Miller, the ball
and he definitely got plenty. Pickup of 15 on that play. 3rd down and 2 after going from 2nd down and 17. 15-yard run for Jordan Miller.
Need to be able to complete something to the perimeter so they can get out of bounds.
26 seconds. On 3rd down, Miller quickly fires. He's got Folk brought down at the 25.
Miller's pass complete.
Broncos have to get it off quickly. They're trying to huddle up, get it to the referee.
Cardinals.
Who places it down. Clock's rolling now.
Run good for a Bronco first down.
Miller out of the shotgun. Gets set. He'll look to drop back. He's under pressure. Has to roll out. Flag down on the play. It's a free play for Miller. Goes out of bounds right near the 20-yard line.
Looks like we're going to have a hold.
Flag down on the play.
And it looks to be it's going to come back. And Coach Bashard not happy at all.
I think the Bronco lineman pretty much just took the defender down with him when he went to the ground.
Holding on the play against the Broncos.
So the Broncos, who had just moved the chains, are now going to be forced backwards. Now there's 5 seconds on the clock, so you're thinking it's Hail Mary shot now. So first down in an eternity. First down and distance to Lawrence,
20.
Kansas probably.
Right.
So do you need it, or do you initially just take a shot in the dark? Why not? First and 20 from the Cardinal 35. 4 out, 1 in the backfield for Jordan Miller. He'll drop back, steps up in the pocket, has a man downfield, wants it down, batted around and incomplete. Wanted Hedrick downfield, but broken up by the Cardinals, as that'll conclude the first half.
The Broncos probably want a lot of that halfback. Honestly, they're lucky to be down 10-0. They could, if you keep in mind, that field goal made it originally, and then they chose to decline it and go for the fourth down. Didn't get it. Blocked field goal. That was quite a flurry at the end of the half.
After the fireworks in the first half, 10-0 your score. It's our Michael Grant at Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show coming up after this.
Michael Grant at Farm Bureau Financial Services is a proud supporter of Spring Hill and cheering on the Broncos. At Farm Bureau Financial Services, their #1 goal is to protect you and your family. Insurance is complicated and not one size fits all. Michael and his team take pride in the relationship they build with their client members. Let them work with you to customize a plan that protects your livelihood and your future. To learn more, call Michael Grant at Farm Bureau Financial Services 913-592-2336 or visit them at 117 South Main in Spring Hill.
I've been doing real estate for 8 years now, and we've run across clients where they're interested in land, but then what do we do with it? Well, what do you want to do with it?
There's a lot of pressure on individuals now to make those decisions quickly. And I think with our experience, with our backgrounds, we know how to work with the cities and how to work with the contractors to make it a smoother process for the buyer.
So if you're looking for real estate
or land planning services,
contact us today at epre.biz.
For 50 years, Elliott Group has been your local insurance partner. With 5 convenient locations, Elliott Group is big enough to offer the best carriers, but small enough to know your name and your insurance needs. Elliott Group is more than just insurance. They're a part of each community they serve, with a wide variety of insurance solutions to help your unique challenges. Elliott Group, where they're there for you today and for years to come. Visit them at any of their 5 locations or at ElliottInsuranceGroup.com.
First Auction Bank, community banking at its best. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
For more than 20 years, Gherkin Rental has been the place to go to get the job done in eastern Kansas and western Missouri. With a huge selection of quality equipment, from roll-offs to trailers, telehandlers to generators, power washers to popcorn makers. Experienced equipment professionals and clean, well-maintained tools to help you get the job done right the first time. Gherkin Rental. Stop by any of their 13 locations across the KC Metro or call 855-GHERKINS. That's 855-437-5367.
Back here on Spring Hill Sports Live, time for our halftime show presented by Michael Grant at Farm Bureau Financial Services. Michael's goal is to help you plan for the unexpected and protect your future. Getting to know you and the things that are most important to you will help them customize the right plan for your needs. So learn more. Visit them at 117 South Main in Spring Hill or call 913-592-2336. Brendan Bolin back here. Going to break down this first half for you. It was a Grayson Moody 5-yard touchdown run to put the Cardinals up 7-0. And then it was a 43-yard field goal from Caden Dunback to take the 10-0 lead. Initially had a 33-yard field goal that was called back for Broncos running into the kicker. And then the Cardinals would false start, forcing him back, and then that 33-yard attempt the second go-around, it was blocked by Brooks Bear, and Mikey Beck took it to the 45. Broncos could not score on that one, but got really close there, as that's all been the scoring so far for both these teams. The Broncos, a lot of opportunities, but just have not been able to find their footing so far. But as we've seen it headed into the second half, the Broncos, they always find a way. They always find a way to keep themselves in games. They always find a way to fight back, and we've seen crazy things in the Frontier League happen, and certainly looking forward to checking out some scores from around the area coming up on our Elliott Insurance Group area matchups. That and a recap with Matt Jones when we come back. You're watching Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live, presented by Strode Orthodontics.
For more than 20 years, Gherkin Rental has been the place to go to get the job done in eastern Kansas and western Missouri. With a huge selection of quality equipment, from roll-offs to trailers, telehandlers to generators, power washers to popcorn makers. Experienced equipment professionals and clean, well-maintained tools to help you get the job done right the first time. Gherkin Rental. Stop by any of their 13 locations across the KC Metro or call 855-GHERKINS. That's 855-437-5367. Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. Bronco fans can find us at 408 North Webster in Spring Hill or call 913-592-2015. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
Find whole body wellness with Sozo Chiropractic in downtown Spring Hill. Relax and recharge with medical grade infrared. Experience natural relief with dry needling and acupuncture. Or try stem wave therapy, a cutting edge option for pain relief and healing. Whether it's you, your kids, or your family, Sozo Chiropractic is here to help you feel your best. Visit us at 102 South Main in Spring Hill or call 913-592-0010. Sozo Chiropractic. Relax, restore, and live well.
My experience at Strode Orthodontics was amazing. Like most people who had their first round of braces, I forgot to wear my retainer and so therefore had crooked teeth. I got engaged this year. I wanted straight teeth for my wedding, and so Dr. Strode was able to give me Invisalign, and now I have the straight smile that I've always wanted. We're gonna get such a welcoming experience here. The day of my wedding, I'm not going to be scared to take pictures. Now I can finally be confident with my smile on that big day.
Michael Grant at Farm Bureau Financial Services is a proud supporter of Spring Hill and cheering on the Broncos. At Farm Bureau Financial Services, their number one goal is to protect you and your family. Insurance is complicated and not one size fits all. Michael and his team take pride in the relationship they build with their client members. Let them work with you to customize a plan that protects your livelihood and your future. To learn more, call Michael Grant at Farm Bureau Financial Services 913-592-2336 or visit them at 117 South Main in Spring Hill.
Are you looking for a trusted heating and air conditioning contractor? Look no further than Comfort Designs, Spring Hill's heating and air conditioning company. Comfort Designs Heating and Air has 100% NATE certified technicians who are friendly, knowledgeable, and ready to help. They'll care for your home and complete the job with speed and precision. Locally owned and operated right here in Spring Hill for more than 20 years. Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning. See all they have to offer at comfortdesigns.net. Or schedule your appointment at 913-592-4453.
Back here on our Michael Grant at Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show, now rejoined by Matt Jones. And Matt, what's your initial takeaway from that first half?
Well, I think after the little flurry at the end there, the Broncos are lucky to get out just 10-0 instead of 13-0, and probably not the half they want to write home about. Trusting the coaches, they're going to go in and make some adjustments, and offensively, I think we need to commit to running the football. We're only down 10. We have plenty of time. The passing game has just been a little bit off tonight. Miller's been running for his life. So we just need to have maybe pick up the tempo a little bit, have some quick hitters, and just establish that ground game.
And I'll give you some more as we hit on our keys to the second half, presented by the Spring Hill Chamber of Commerce, reminding you to support our community and shop local. Mark your calendars now for the annual Spring Hill Fall Festival, September 26th through September 28th. To learn more, visit SpringHillFallFestival.com and keep up with the Spring Hill Chamber of Commerce at SpringHillKS.com. And you hit on the offense. What's it got to be for the defense?
I think the defense, they've played really well in spurts. Like, the game could be 17-0 or 21-0. Eudora had a really long field goal, got a field goal blocked, and the defense just needs to stay sound. We got a little bit better as the half progressed, and we just need to fill the gaps that we're supposed to fill. It is so tempting as a football player to run and want to just go to the ball, but especially your perimeter players, you just can't do that. You've got to stay. If you are outside contained, you've got to contain the outside. If you're supposed to fill the A or the B gap as a linebacker, you've got to fill that gap. And it's so hard to play an offense like this where there's so many different options. That's why it's called option football. You have to just stay where you are supposed to be because it is your job, and all 11 people have to do their role.
And we'll quickly get into our Elliott Group area matchups as we take a look at scores at halftime, and I'll let Matt take it away there.
I think the main note is Hayes and Manhattan are still tied. Hayes had a field goal blocked in the half. That's our premier matchup in the area. Girard's down 7-6 on Baxter Springs. Piper's up 15-6 on DeSoto. That's kind of a notable game that we've been following. And let's see what else we have here. What are you coming up with?
I'm seeing something notable. 29-0 Leavenworth over the Turner Golden Bears.
Yep.
Also down in Frontenac, 28, Riverton 0. That score right there. Hayden, who the Cardinals faced, up 32-0 on Bishop Ward.
Yeah, Ward's one of those programs that's always kind of struggled. They've back in the day they were a baseball school.
St. Thomas Aquinas 21, Blue Valley 7 at the half. Of course, our scores up on Scores in Kansas as well, and I did see another notable one. Oh, here we go. Bishop Miege 14, Blue Valley West 5 at the half.
Interesting. So a safety and a field goal. It's like at the end of the first quarter, it was Tongi 14, Lansing 0. I haven't seen anything updated beyond that. And Baser 13, Linwood 13, Shawnee Heights 0. Again, that was after the first quarter. So I'm sure more scores are piling in as we get farther into halftime. We got to half fairly quick.
And it's certainly winding down here, as that'll do it for our Michael Grant at Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show. When we come back, our final thoughts as we got 24 more minutes left to play here in this ball game from Eudora, Kansas. Don't go anywhere, folks. Second half coming up after this.
Spring Hill's hometown shop is J&T Auto Service. As a full-service repair shop, J&T Auto Service works on all makes and models. Diesels, Europeans, they do it all. From combines to Corvettes. Visit J&T Auto Service for oil changes, tires, brakes, alignments, electrical diagnostics, and so much more. Small town, friendly service with high-tech tools and training. Schedule your service at J&T Auto Service. Call 913-592-6424. You can also visit jtautoinc.com.
First Auction Bank Community Banking at its best. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
For 50 years, Elliott Group has been your local insurance partner. With 5 convenient locations, Elliott Group is big enough to offer the best carriers, but small enough to know your name and your insurance needs. Elliott Group is more than just insurance. They're a part of each community they serve, with a wide variety of insurance solutions to help your unique challenges. Elliott Group, where they're there for you today and for years to come. Visit them at any of their 5 locations or at ElliottInsuranceGroup.com.
Buy one Sonic Smasher and get another free. That's right, buy one hand-smashed Angus beef Sonic Smasher and get another free. It's the dual threat quarterback of burger deals. Buy one, get one free in the Sonic app.
Spring Hill's hometown shop is J&T Auto Service. As a full-service repair shop, J&T Auto Service works on all makes and models. Diesels, Europeans, they do it all. From combines to Corvettes. Visit J&T Auto Service for oil changes, tires, brakes, alignments, electrical diagnostics, and so much more. Small town, friendly service with high-tech tools and training. Schedule your service at J&T Auto Service. Call 913-592-6424. You can also visit jtautoinc.com.
First Auction Bank Community Banking at its best. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
For 50 years, Elliott Group has been your local insurance partner. With 5 convenient locations, Elliott Group is big enough to offer the best carriers, but small enough to know your name and your insurance needs. Elliott Group is more than just insurance. They're a part of each community they serve, with a wide variety of insurance solutions to help your unique challenges. Elliott Group, where they're there for you today and for years to come. Visit them at any of their 5 locations or at ElliottInsuranceGroup.com.
Buy one Sonic Smasher and get another free. That's right, buy one hand-smashed Angus beef Sonic Smasher and get another free. It's the dual threat quarterback of burger deals. Buy one, get one free in the Sonic app.
Spring Hill's hometown shop is J&T Auto Service. As a full-service repair shop, J&T.
Back here on Spring Hill Sports Live, you could see the brand new facilities Eudora got just this past summer, and I've seen the weight room that Coach Russell got to be a part of with the scheming and designing of it, and it looks masterful.
I've heard it's great.
Coach Russell, former coach at Baser Linwood, now the powerlifting coach, track and field coach as well. I mean,
Isn't he like a Canadian record holder?
Canadian record holder, yeah, in javelin.
Little tidbit there.
And he's very tall, too. I mean, I've had to look up and talk to him several times.
I'd have to stand on a chair or two.
Moody kicks this one off, and this is going to be hauled in at the 30, and nothing much doing there. For Jace Thompson was the one on that return. And the Broncos offense will start things off here in the second half.
We have a quick shout out. Apparently we have somebody watching all the way out in California this weekend. Nick Wingirter is celebrating his anniversary. Unfortunately, he's halfway across the country celebrating, but he's probably enjoying watching his son Tucker this evening play, and hopefully that offensive line can get the Broncos going. Broncos come up to the ball.
Thank you for your quick play-by-play, Matt.
Right.
I appreciate it.
All I needed to say was the Broncos come up to the ball. So.
1st and 10 at the 37. Miller hands this off to the outside. Goes Kachaver, goes off a tackler, and propels forward for a gain of about 2 to 3 yards on that one.
Hank Kachaver on the carry for the
But
Broncos.
yes, we got plenty of viewers from local in Spring Hill. Right. I shout out to Coach Connor Bashard, a boys basketball coach, for tuning in as well. The whole family back home watching this one. And of course, the Wingators in all the way out in California. 2nd and 9, gain of 1 on that last play. Miller will drop back, quick screen underneath, and this will be taken up by Dodson, and he'll get about 2 yards on that one.
I like
Kachaver, excuse me.
I like the play call. I like how they did that against an attacking defense like that. The linebackers for Eudora did a really good job staying home. They read it.
Bradshaw and Marks on the tackle, and that underneath screen got 4 yards, so 3rd down and 5 from their own 42-yard line. Trips to the near side for the Broncos. On 3rd down, Miller quickly trying to get it out, but just overthrew his man in Folk, and right there in coverage for the Cardinals is Elijah Clopes.
And Folk had a step on his man.
Be 4th down and 5 coming up, and Brooks Bear will be out to punt.
We're just getting behind the sticks. Our first down play, minimal gains. That's just putting us behind. When you're looking at 2nd and 3rd and long, that makes it really difficult to convert.
Des Hubler again back deep for the Cardinals on the punt return.
You've got to get some air under this kick so his coverage can get there.
3 steps, laser beam with plenty of turnover. Bouncer to the 15. Hubler takes it, and he's going to be immediately stopped in his tracks. Cameron Wells right there.
Great tackle by Wells. You couldn't ask for anything more. Great punt. Hubler caught it off the bounce, and Wells, great tackle, head up, wrestled him down to the ground.
And now this Cardinals offense high-powered on the ground, and the PA announcer mentioned this. 22 carries for 175 yards, so almost 200 yards in the first half on the ground alone by the Cardinals. And the leading rusher for Eudora, Grayson Moody, 14 carries, 152 yards, and a touchdown, already matching his game alone against the Bonner Springs Braves just in the first half against this Broncos defense. Give it to him on 1st down, and he's going to be stuffed immediately, trying to pitch it back for Cy Thomas, who takes it to the 19. Forced down to bounds by Jake Weiss.
Moody had the ball.
Got lucked out on that play. That doesn't work all the time. It's a real risky shot. We talked a lot about it last week about when the forward progress is stopped, when they're wrapped up, stood up by the defense. That's when you blow the whistle. That play really should have probably never even taken place.
There's a gain of 6 on the what almost Travis Kelce likes to do sometimes. I see Caden Carbajo over there smiling, the biggest Chiefs fan in the world. 2nd and 4, Duncan in motion. And it's a keeper for Cy Thomas that went nowhere. And that's Mason Harvey off the edge.
Yeah, Harvey making a great play, great tackle.
That was a tackle for loss on the play. at a yard or two. Loss of 2 officially on the board, so it's 3rd down and 6.
Cardinals lose 2 on that play. 3rd and 6 for Eudora.
Cardinals on their own 18-yard line. Again, 6 yards to go. Broncos could be a huge defensive stop here. They can do it. Broncos show pressure. They will bring it. Thomas to throw on 3rd down. He's got a man downfield. That is Bryce Mulvihill barreling his way past the 30.
Thomas's pass complete to Bryce Mulvihill.
And he'll move the chain. Cy Thomas doing it with his arm right there. Benny Reagan on the stop.
And Cy Thomas did a really good job staying in the pocket and getting rid of that ball. Open receiver. Took a hit afterwards, so he paid for that completion.
15-yard pickup on that throw from Thomas to Mulvihill. 1st down and 10. New set of downs at the 31-yard line. The Cardinals will break the huddle here. Broncos, 2 more rushers off the edge. They'll simulate some pressure up the middle. They will bring it. Moody on the ground, and he's not going to go really much anywhere. A lot of hats in there to make the stop.
Right, and you're going to have to against a running back like Moody. You got to stop him on that first contact, and then you got to get 2 to 3 other players to help bring him down.
Cole Penhollow was credited the first one to get there. Pickup of 2 yards, 2nd down and 8. Bronco faithful still packing the stands for Eudora. They still got quite a lot of fans, and both these teams, they travel well. They cheer very loud. On 2nd and 8. Keeper up the middle, nothing doing there. How do you do, says Mason Harvey.
We're now putting the Cardinals in a long 3rd down situation.
Carter Rainey, the sophomore, also in.
Cardinals lose 1.
They'll lose a yard. 3rd down and 9 now. Another crucial 3rd down and 9. Can the Cardinals crack the Broncos once more here? Thomas wanting to pass. He'll have to step up and scramble, breaking a few tackles and still getting loose. The ball's out, and it's picked up by the Cardinals. And I think that's going to be enough for a 1st down. Preston White was the one who recovered it.
You want to talk about freak things that have happened on this drive alone. A pitch back and then a fumble that they advance.
As he's a bit shaken up as he'll go to the sideline. Julian Otis, the 5'9" senior, in.
Well, Thomas should have been stopped earlier. He kind of slithered through, got close, and then his fumble. Sometimes you just got to say, you know what? We were there.
Football gods are certainly on their side there.
Right, that's right. The Broncos made the right play.
Pitch out to Moody on 1st and 10. He gets plenty of room to the outside. He's leveled. Big Kyle Stewart on the outside.
Yeah, great play by the Bronco defense. Good, strong open field tackle.
Loss of 2 on that play. And a big tackle there for the senior Kyle Stewart.
Yeah, just in this first drive, the Broncos, the defenders they've made better angles on the tackles, which makes all the deal in the world. If you have a good angle when you're trying to tackle, it makes your job exponentially easier. If you have a bad angle, all a good running back has to do is make a small move and he's gone.
Quick temperature update, 71 degrees now. On 3rd down, 2nd down, Thomas was under pressure, steps up in the pocket. He's got his legs to use, and he's going to use them well past the 35.
And, you know, they had him in the backfield, but like we just referred to, if you have a bad angle and you try to tackle with your arms, it's not going to work against anybody even remotely athletic. And a person like Cy Thomas, he's going to make a great play every time on that when you're just trying to tackle with your arms.
So Cy Thomas using his legs to get a big gain on that play. How about a pickup of 33 yards? First and 10. Thomas keeps it. Balls out! And the Broncos are on it! Waiting for the official signal.
I think Eudora got it back. I think it bumbled out, and the Broncos.
And Cy Thomas comes up with it.
I think the Broncos had it, and they didn't cover it, and it slipped out.
And you can see Coach Bashard on the sideline saying, "Get on it, get on it."
Yep.
Cardinals lose one on that play. It's going to bring up a second
Man,
and 11.
if luck is on your side sometimes, the Cardinals have it right now.
They'll lose one after the chaos there.
They're lucky they have the ball.
That thing popped free.
It did. You could see the ball all in the air from up here.
I mean, we're all the way at the top of the press box, and we could see it fly out.
Yep. You got to capitalize on some of that stuff.
They're first of the half.
And the Cardinals will call timeout, and we'll take a timeout here with them. 10-0, 5:35 here left to play in this third quarter. Back after this.
Hi, I'm Dr. Aaron Stowe with Paola Vet Clinic. We'd like to thank you for trusting us with the care of your pets and large animals. At Paola Vet Clinic, we're proud to be your hometown veterinarians who know and care about your family. We provide cutting-edge diagnostic services, digital radiology, ultrasound, and in-house same-day blood work, chiropractic, and reproductive services. Come in and see us at our new location here in Paola in the Industrial Park with indoor cattle and equine facilities complete with a hydraulic tip chute. With a team of 11 veterinarians, our commitment to this community makes Paola Vet Clinic the vets you can trust.
Back after the timeout here on Spring Hill Sports Live. 10-0 still our score. 5:35 left to play here in this half. Second half, third quarter. Last play was a fumble recovered by the Cardinals. Broncos almost had it, but Cy Thomas able to pick it right back up. The Cardinals just lose the yards. Second and long coming up. Second down and a few miles past Lawrence, Kansas. Quick out, caught by White. Fundamental tackling right there. Siler Stewart and Jake Weiss, the two there to make the stop.
Yeah, Broncos were ready for it. They read that play really well. Both in on a nice gang tackle.
White complete, but we lost 2 yards on that one.
2-yard loss on that one. Back-to-back losses
Cardinals
for
have
the
been
Cardinals.
third down warriors. Broncos have been really good on first and second down. The Cardinals on third down have been impressive, lucky, both.
Broncos need a stop here. Got to get this defense off the field. On 3rd and 13. Thomas drops back, now will step up, but he's stopped. Braden Bell on the tackle.
Cy Thomas, the ball carrier.
Got to wrap him up just like that.
Gain just a yard.
Cardinal fans, make sure you get your bids.
4th down and 12 coming up, and I think they will send out the punting unit. They will. As this is Caden Dunback out to punt away for Eudora, and Benny Reagan back deep for the Broncos.
Need some juice. We need something. We need a return. We need just a good, solid play to get motivated.
Dunback, big kick that's going to go to the track and out of bounds. And Benny Reagan this season on punt returns. He just has one for that went 41 yards. As it's mainly been a combination of him, Siler Stewart, and Cameron Wells, the three that have been taking punt returns this season.
Broncos will have it 1st and 10, trailing 10-0.
1st and 10 at the 17-yard line. 4 minutes and 4 seconds to play here in this third quarter. Two in the backfield joining Jordan Miller.
Silent auction ends at the end of this quarter. He's got 4 minutes of game time. Get down there.
Fakes the handoff, goes inside for Dotson, cuts inside of the 20, and he'll be pushed backwards and still up on his feet. Cardinals weren't done yet to take him down, and You play to the whistle, Matt.
Right, you have to.
Mason Dotson, the ball carrier, stopped by Colton Bowser.
Decent gain, though, on first down. This is what we need. Now we have very manageable second and upcoming third downs.
Gain of 5, or they'll say 6. So second down and 4.
Second and 4 for Spring Hill.
About 5 or 6 yards on that one.
Take that every time on first down.
Second and manageable. Miller fakes the handoff, goes outside for Dotson. The Cardinals read it well. Dotson managing to stay on his feet as he's forced out of bounds past the 30.
Love how he's putting his hand on the ground, keeping his balance, and just chugging those legs right ahead. Big first down for confidence for the Broncos.
Back-to-back stops from Colton Bowser.
On the stop for the Cardinals.
But it's a first down for the Broncos.
Much needed first down.
Personnel changes to the sideline. Go be Folk and be one of the McAvoys. On first down, Miller, handoff up the middle, and the Cardinals will give him nothing. As Kachaver on that carry.
Stop by the interior line of the
Just
Cardinals.
a big scrum of linemen in the middle. Poor Kachaver had nowhere to go. Still managed a yard, though, judging by the yard marker.
And if B.J. Harris were here, he'd say you got to dominate the line of scrimmage. And both teams, they found their successes, but a lot of times the line has been
right,
give or take.
Right, I'd say in general, Eudora's won that battle on both sides of the ball tonight so far.
This time, and Kachaver has a wide open hole past the 40 to the 42. Question is, did he get enough? He did. Judge says move the chains. First down. Big run for Kachaver.
Good hard run.
10 yards on that pickup. First and 10 on the 43 now for the Broncos.
This is what we need, more dose. Just keep it simple, running game, wear the defense out.
Speeding up the offense. Give to Dotson on the inside, spins around him, and he's tripped up right near the 50. They'll mark him down at the 49, pick up at 6 yards. And Miller's not wasting any time. Go to the sideline, get the call, run back. Golay and Schreiner on that last stop.
Yep, exactly what we need to see. Keep the defense on their heels, wear them out. Let that offensive line take control of this game.
Second and 4. It's a give to Dotson. Goes to the outside, bounces off a tackler. Gets maybe 2 yards on that one.
Dotson on the carry.
And now we have timeout for an injured Bronco who just manages to get to the sideline, and I believe that was Dotson.
Yeah, he walked off behind. He popped up pretty quick though.
Dotson, we do hope he's okay. Just ushered to the sideline, which thankfully he was able to get out of bounds. Broncos creep into Cardinal territory, but they've got 2 yards to go to move the chains. Miller keeping himself. Gets to the outside past the 50, puts his head down.
That should be a penalty at the end. The Eudora's defender's hand swatted Jordan Miller in the head. I don't care if that's an accident or not. That's a penalty every time.
And Jordan Miller making his case.
He's 100% right. They've got to catch that. With head safety that we preach all the time, if we don't call it, what's the point?
Broncos say no excuses. We're just going to go for it. 4th and 2 at the 49-yard line. On the near hash, 3 behind Miller. Audible at the play, Audible at the line. Somebody jumped. Miller keeps it himself, still churning his way. Is he there? Still waiting on word. He is short.
Huh.
And Jordan Miller has stuff to say to the head referee.
I think he's got an argument.
Eudora have it 1st and 10.
Even Coach Bashard's had something to say to the line judge as well on the far side of the field.
I think he's got a fair argument on that one. I think the previous play, not protecting the quarterback or protecting your players at all, and I think moving there, that was close.
34 seconds left to play. 1st and 10 at the Cardinal 48-yard line. Back to work goes Cy Thomas and company. He'll drop back. Immediately pushing the ball's out. And I think the Broncos have it. And Brooks Bayer picks it out the field to the 20. He's going to score. Touchdown Spring Hill. What kind of craziness have we seen?
We saw karma.
48 yards to the house. And the Broncos are on the board.
We needed a big game-changing play, and that was it. And Cy Thomas had been getting hit, and he got lit up on that play. Great pressure by the Broncos, and Brooks Bayer, when you need a play by your best defender, he comes through and rumbles for a huge interception return. Or was it a fumble return? Did it hit the ground? It wasn't an interception. He didn't throw it. The ball was in the air.
Aiden Odell on to kick the extra point for the Broncos. Snap good, hold good, kick. Drilled right through. And the Bronco faithful has life. Brooks Bayer to the house, 48 yards. The Broncos trail by just a field goal.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. Bronco fans can find us at 408 North Webster in Spring Hill or call 913-592-2050. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
And with 22 seconds left in this third quarter, Jonesy, this game has been flipped upside down.
It's been wild. It all started at the end of the second half, or the end of the first half. And Broncos finally find some life by one of their defensive leaders. The student section's getting fired up. The cheerleaders are fired up.
We will rock you blaring through this stadium, and rightfully so. I mean, you've got 22 seconds and 12 more minutes up after this. I mean, we're in for probably the game of the century. I mean, we saw fireworks last year. Are we going to see it again this year?
Looks to be that way.
It's only a matter of time. Aiden Odell to kick off. Hubler and White back deep for the Cardinals. This one will be taken in at the 5 by Hubler. He's got plenty of protection, cuts inside in the middle, and great tackling at the 20-yard line. Keegan Folk, one of the first ones to get there.
Now the key here moving forward. Okay, you got all this emotion. Your defense came out. Clutch play. It is so important right now. You got to be fundamental for 4 downs. Like,
Carter
looked great for 2 and then slipped on 1.
Carter Rainey also in on the stop. A 15-yard return by Hubler, and Cy Thomas now back out to try and command his offense after a crazy turn of events. And this Broncos faithful on the opposite side of the stadium has life. You can hear them in the distance. They're roaring. 1st and 10. Broncos simulate pressure. They will send it. Moody breaks through, finds a hole past the 30. Stutter sips his way past the 35 to the 40 and down at the 46-yard line.
The Cardinals got exactly what they needed. Big play from their offensive playmaker.
Pickup of 24 on that one to the 45. 21 yards, and I think that just barely, that's probably going to put Moody over 200 yards on the ground for the game.
Brings us to the end of the third.
And we're through 3. Broncos trail by just a field goal. We've got 12 more minutes, and this game has seen the ups, the downs, and the excitement. We'll keep bringing you the action. You've been watching Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live. We got the 4th quarter coming up right after this.
I've been doing real estate for 8 years now, and we've run across clients where they're interested in land, but then what do we do with it? Well, what do you want to do with it?
There's a lot of pressure on the individuals now to make those decisions quickly. And I think with our experience, with our backgrounds, we know how to work with the cities and how to work with the contractors to make it a smoother process for the buyer.
So if you're looking for real estate
For land planning services,
contact us today at epre.biz.
Hi, I'm Dr.
Fourth down rolling, or fourth quarter rolling, I should say. Back here on Spring Hill Sports Live, I'm Brendan Bolin. Matt Jones next to me, on color, Caden Cabajo behind the camera. And look at that Broncos student section. They're up on their feet. They're excited. Cardinal faithful still excited on the near end, but Broncos found some life after the Brooks Bear touchdown. On first down, Moody, nothing much doing there. Immediately wrapped up Carter Rainey, and also give some credit right there to Kyle Stewart on the tackle. Gain of just a yard.
Stewart and Penhallow on the stop for Spring Hill.
So just 2nd and 9 coming up, and Cardinals will go back to work on their own 46-yard line. On 2nd and 9, Broncos will bring pressure. It's an end around to Mulvihill, and he's going to be stopped immediately right there in his tracks.
And the Broncos bring in the heat.
Mulvihill on the reverse.
And let's show you that replay.
On 2nd and 9, Broncos will bring pressure. It's an end around to Mulvihill, and he's going to be stopped immediately right there in his tracks.
Into the ball. Again, that replay brought to you by Attic Storage of Spring Hill. Attic offers climate-controlled units, RV and vehicle storage, plus clean and move-in ready spaces. 3rd down and 11.
Oh, here they go again.
Cy Thomas wants to throw. Got Mulvihill. It's a first down and a bit more. Forced out of bounds by Benny Reagan. Cardinals pick up the first down there.
Just a big cushion. Mulvihill, they got to be able to cover tight on those plays, because we're kind of a make it or break it. If we don't get to the quarterback, the back end right now, they're kind of on islands back there. They don't have a whole lot of help.
1st and 10 at the Bronco 41. Cardinals find their way into the Spring Hill territory. Broncos bring in the heat. Cy Thomas keeps it to the outside, past the 40, trying to turn to the 35, and he's going to be tripped up from behind. Sailor Stewart right there to trip him up.
And our defensive ends have got to be able to contain that.
And now Cy Thomas is hurt.
Gain of 5 for the Cardinals, Cy Thomas.
We'll step aside as they tend to Cy Thomas right near. It looks like he's up, and we'll keep it here. Just got shaken up there. And it looks to be that Thomas will walk to the sideline, and we'll take a quick 30-second break here.
Buy one Sonic Smasher and get another free. That's right, buy one hand-smashed Angus beef Sonic Smasher and get another free. It's the dual threat quarterback of burger deals. Buy one, get one free in the Sonic app.
Pizza's $1.
Cardinal student section's going crazy, not because of how good this game is. I mean, there's that reason, but also pizza's now $1.
That's, you know, you want to get high school kids to an event, cheap food or free food.
I mean, especially myself being a college student, I always prefer free food.
Right. Yep. I'm not a college student, and I don't typically pass it up either, so.
It's always a great option. So Cy Thomas to the sideline, and in steps in Houston Carnegie, the 5'10", 135-pound junior. While Cy Thomas gets tended to on the sideline, Carnegie will be in charge of trying to put the Cardinals in front by 10. 2nd down, It's a handoff up the middle for Duncan, and he's going to be leveled.
By his own guy, too.
Jace Thompson was one of them in there.
Stopped by Jace Thompson.
Pickup of just a couple of yards. 3rd down and 5 coming up, and Carnegie off, and back in comes Cy Thomas.
You can tell Cy Thomas has got a little favor.
Cardinals pick up 2 on that play.
It looks like an ankle possibly, or something lower leg, so we'll see if that slows him down a little bit. And there, the quarterback in the Eudora offense does a lot of rotating. The offense definitely runs through them every single play, making decisions.
Bronco faithful making some noise. 3rd down and 3. Handoff up the middle for Moody. He's going to be stopped, and I think just short. And he'll be just a yard short. And the ball they're going to say was out as Kyle Stewart had the ball in his hand. They're going to say it was down. Braden Bell was on the tackle. 4th down and a yard.
Got to think they're going to go for it. Obviously, even for their kicker, that's still pretty long.
Pulling out, McKenna in on defense. 4th down and a yard to go.
No safety for the Broncos. They're going to bring the house.
Moody up the middle. He's got it. Hang on. Is the ball out? Is he short? We're waiting on the official. Yep, 1st down.
Moody with the carry.
Coach Bashard is furious on the sideline. The Cardinals just keeping themselves alive on offense, finding themselves at the 30-yard line. First and 10 at the 30. Thomas will keep it himself. Still up on his feet, but finally ripped down in the backfield.
You got a Bronco holding his legs.
Oh, no.
Thomas keeps it for the Cardinals. Stopped behind the line for a loss by Spring Hill. Flag's down on the play.
Flag is down on the play. I believe it might be just a cramp. But we will step aside for just a moment.
Hi, I'm Katie Casey, and I'm honored to be a 3rd-generation realtor in our Crown Realty family. My dad and grandparents started Crown Realty in 1973, and since then we have grown to become one of the largest brokerages in the Midwest. We now have 8 office locations and over 150 agents covering about 20 counties across Kansas and Missouri. Reach out to us today to experience the Crown Realty difference, where we are committed to treating our agents like family and our clients like royalty.
So Braden Bell is able to get up to the sideline. And I think they picked up the flag.
I think so, right, because they gave him a lot of forward progress on that one. Well, it's 1st down.
First down, I think, at 9 yards. So there goes Cy Thomas past the 20 and out of bounds right near the 15.
So what was the penalty sequence then? Why was it 1st down? Because we had the big loss.
Not entirely sure there.
In pursuit and takes him out.
They never came on the PA and said what it was.
So big pickup for the Cardinals, moving it to the 16-yard line. Just getting themselves inside the red zone. For the Cardinals, it'd be huge if they could score here. The Broncos just need a stop. And if anything, you'd probably want the Cardinals to settle for a field goal.
Absolutely.
1st down, Moody keeps it stuffed. Nowhere to go. Plenty of hats in there. Moody just barely going to get a yard. Caden McKenna will be in on the stop for the Broncos. They'll say really just a yard. Picked up there, 2nd and 9 on the 15. Thomas low under pressure. Broncos moving around, and I think that's what will be called as the Broncos maybe jumped.
Flags on the play before the snap. Offside.
And the Broncos will jump off sides. Be second down and 4 coming up. For the Broncos, who they found ways to keep themselves in, but just another penalty, and it's going to march the Cardinals right upfield to the 10-yard line.
5-yard penalty brings up a
Second and 9 now, second and 4 after the penalty. Cardinals in dangerous territory. They scored here in the first quarter. They'll give it to Moody. Gets to the outside, breaks a tackle past the 5, diving his way for the pylon. Is he in? Yes, touchdown Cardinals. A 10-yard run for Grayson Moody, make it a brace of touchdowns. And the Cardinals snag touchdown number 2 on the evening from their junior running back.
Well, we know what the Broncos need to do. They've got short time. They need to get after it. I'm still very curious what happened on that sequence where we had the huge loss of down against the quarterback, and then all of a sudden it was 1st and 9. Like, there was no explanation. I mean, surely something where we just don't know.
And Dunback is on to kick the extra point, but the Cardinals don't have the personnel on the field. And I think that they may have to push it back. Yes, they will. So delay it game on the Cardinals will move this extra point back 5 yards. So Dunback will try again, this time from about 25 yards out. Snap good, hold good. Kick by Dunback is through the uprights and good. And Grayson Moody and the Cardinals
Eudora goes up by 10
put themselves up by 10. 6:45 left to go here in this fourth quarter.
Find whole body wellness with Sozo Chiropractic in downtown Spring Hill. Relax and recharge with medical grade infrared. Experience natural relief with dry needling and acupuncture. Or try stem wave therapy, a cutting edge option for pain relief and healing. Whether it's you, your kids, or your family, Sozo Chiropractic is here to help you feel your best. Visit us at 102 South Main in Spring Hill or call 913-592-0010. Sozo Chiropractic. Relax, restore, and
So Moody, who just scored a 10-yard touchdown rush, 15 yards combined for his 2 touchdowns tonight on the ground. Cardinals lead by 10. The Broncos have a decent bit of time, 6:45. But it's got to be the drive of their lives.
They've got to go quick.
Moody to kick it away. And he'll send this one sailing back to the 25. Big return up the sideline near the 40 is that's Mason Dodson, who had a full head of steam ahead, and there's a Cardinal injured back near the Broncos sideline, right near the 20-yard line, as we'll step aside for an injury timeout.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, studying animal science or learning about farm and ranch management. Maybe you belong here as part of Hounds Hoops on the hardwood. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
back here on Spring Hill Sports Live is still tending to that injured player, but Broncos offense looks to be ready to go. They certainly want to score real quick.
Right, they're going to need to, and the Bronco offense has struggled mightily all night. Keep in mind that their touchdown is from the defense. But part of that, the Cardinals have come in with a great game plan. They have made the plays. The Broncos have not.
As Keelan Duncan is going to hobble to the sideline before he finally falls down looking for some teammate help, so we do hope that Duncan is okay. But in the meantime, Broncos will start at their own 36-yard line. Got 6 minutes and 40 seconds left to play. And Matt, what's got to be the Broncos offense?
Well, they've got to have some quick hitters. They're not overly concerned about the clock, but they need to, they can't just run the ball every play. They're going to have some up-tempo offense, and they're going to have to get out of bounds a little bit to get the clock on their side.
Play clock not started yet, and Broncos will break out of the sideline huddle and get themselves up and moving. Jordan Miller will start with two in the backfield. Dotson behind him and Kachaver to the near side. Miller will drop back and throw. Has a man in stride, just overthrown and incomplete. Keegan Folk was his intended target, and right there in coverage is Colton Bowser.
And Folk had a step, but that's a big throw for Jordan Miller.
Bowser and Mulvihill on the coverage for the Cardinals.
I'll say Bryce Mulvihill was also in the area in coverage for the Eudora Cardinals. I'll bring up 2nd and 10, and it looks to be Miller, as much as he wants to keep it on the ground and run with it, a big dual threat quarterback as he is, he's got to throw it here.
Right.
On 2nd down, there'll be a quick out for Dotson and bobbled incomplete. Newt Schreiner was also in the area as well. Now it's 3rd down and 10, back-to-back incompletions.
Yeah, the offense struggled mightily all day. Miller's his accuracy's just been a little bit off every time. And that said, part of the problem is that he's been getting pressured every play, and that's on the offensive line.
Cameron Wells will enter in a crucial 3rd down. 6.5 minutes left to play in this ball game here. To the near side, one to the far side. On 3rd down, Miller drops back a plenty. He wants to throw it quick. He's got his man and Folk, and he's spun down to the 40. But it'll be yards short. 4th and 6.
Well, considering you're going to have to score twice.
4th and 4, pick up a 6 on that play.
Tackle on the play by Des Hubler.
Des Hubler on the stop. The Broncos, they're going for it. Nothing to lose here. Or I wouldn't say nothing to lose. I'd say they've got a lot.
They got a lot to lose, but it's time. They got to go for it. You don't really have a choice.
Miller will go to the under center. Cardinals won't budge. He'll look to the sideline for an audible. Play clock down to 5. Has to snap it quick. He does. It's a carry for Kachaver, and he's going to be stuffed. Nowhere to go, and the Cardinals.
I'm not really sure what was going on there. The sequence there, like if you're gonna try to draw him off.
Eudora takes over on downs.
The Cardinals will take over on downs inside Bronco territory at the 44-yard line.
Probably want to have that sequence back. Well, with the ball control offense that Eudora has shown today, you're going to see a heavy dose of running the football.
First and 10 on the 44. Cy Thomas and company back to work. Thomas will drop back now. He'll take off, plenty of room ahead. Breaks some tackles, still on his feet past the 20 to the 10. He's going to be brought down inside the 10 at about the 7-yard line. A big run play for Cy Thomas.
When you have an attacking defense like the Broncos have shown, it's kind of feast or famine. If you don't make the play in the backfield, your back level defenders have got to come up with a play, and they've struggled with that this evening. But you know, when you leave one man back there, it's going to be really hard for him to be the final play. You know,
32 yards on that quarterback keeper from Cy Thomas. First and goal, 9 yards to go for Eudora. They'll give it to Moody. Wide open hole. He's in. Touchdown for the Eudora Cardinals. And the third touchdown of the night for Grayson Moody.
Grayson Moody with a 9-yard touchdown run.
And it seems like the life has been sucked out of the Broncos.
Yeah, I think after that last touchdown, you just saw them deflate. And that last offensive series was just looked a little. They've just looked out of sorts all night tonight. But credit to Eudora, they've had a heck of a game plan. I think this is the best they've played all year. They were upset after that loss last year in overtime, and they've come to play tonight. You could tell that they're the ones with the 19 returning starters.
Dunback will drill this extra point through. How about back-to-back scores for Grayson Moody? 3 touchdowns on the night for the junior running back.
Well, to be completely honest, like looking at the score right now, that is probably more reflective of the dominance that Eudora has shown tonight. I think they've outplayed the Broncos, they've out-schemed the Broncos, and they have just had a little bit heavier skip in their step tonight.
Eudora certainly, they wanted that Hayden game back. They've got a head of steam against Bonner Springs, shut him out, and now against the Broncos squad, that offense looked almost immortal. The defense looked phenomenal.
Right.
This Cardinals team has just risen to the occasion.
Right. Well, you know, they were able to dominate the line of scrimmage in those games, and they have not tonight. And once again, you know, offensively, if your linemen are controlling the game, it makes it easy on the skill players. Defensively, if the defensive line is dominating the game, then it frees up your other guys to come in and make a play, and that's just not been the case tonight. But credit to Eudora. You know, they've got some size and athleticism up front that we just haven't seen yet.
So Grayson Moody will be back to kick. Cardinals sideline as lively, as energetic as ever. Moody sends a laser beam that's going to roll backwards to the 10. Dotson's going to have to pick it up and run with it. Stutter steps past the 15, and he'll take off towards the sideline. He's got plenty of room up the sideline to the 40. He'll barrel his way to the 45-yard line. Plenty of contact there. How about Dodson going all the way from inside his 5 to make that return?
And that was a great effort by Dodson, and just showing some athleticism and speed, and that could have been a disaster had they not covered the ball.
Ball rest at the Spring Hill 44-yard line.
So the Broncos offense, essentially you could imagine they probably will still go for it on 4th down. So 4-down territory through and through. It's a matter of how you can get it. 1st and 10, quick out to Folk on a little screen pass, gets to the 50, stiff arming a man down, but it's still Hubler to make the tackle. And Folk's got no time to waste. He's got to just toss it to the official, and the offense has got to go.
And Folk, you know, or Miller finally connecting with Folk. They've been kind of looking for that this evening.
Gain of 4. Broncos are at midfield. 2nd down and 6 coming up. Wells way out to the far side of the field, to the near side for Miller. One in the backfield. Fake the handoff to Kachaver. It's Miller to keep, trying to find some room to scramble. He does. He gets past a few tacklers, but has to just go out of bounds past the 50 to about the 49-yard line. Gain of maybe 1 yard on that pickup. 3rd down and 5. And they just barely claw their way into Cardinal territory at the 49.
Hard-fought play by Jordan Miller just to make something that nothing much was there.
3rd down and 4. Clock stops at 4:01. The Broncos still have all 3 of their timeouts, so be as flexible as they want. Another quick out. Folk, great blocking on the perimeter there. Gets past the 45, and he's going to be leveled right near out of bounds. Big first down pickup for Folk again on that quick screen pass.
And picking up the pace a little bit. Usually that's where the Broncos tend to thrive, when the pace of the game picks up.
Be 6 yards on that completion. Broncos will get it to the 43. Now under 4 minutes, 3:54 now to play. And out to Kachaver on first down, has a hole past the 35, trying to fight his way towards the 30. But it'll be brought down by Keelan Duncan, one of the two in there.
You know, how many
Bryce
carries
Mulvihill
has-
as well.
I'm sorry, how many carries has Kachaver had? It's been fairly quiet tonight. I had a couple good runs. One was called back on a hold, but you know, he hasn't seen a whole lot of action tonight.
We'll have to go downstairs to get the final numbers, of course.
On the 31-yard line.
On the 31, Broncos fresh set of downs. Trips to the far side. Miller, pump fakes. Now he wants to throw deep. He's got a man in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Just
almost in the hands of Brady Coltharp.
Great ball by Jordan Miller, though. That he stepped up into the pocket. You can't ask for more from your quarterback. Hit it in stride.
Bryce Mulvihill with the coverage for Eudora.
Mulvihill in coverage. Second down and 10. You can imagine that if Miller gets the chance, he wants to go for the end zone.
Oh, absolutely. They're going to have to. They got a lot of points to make up.
17 to be exact, so 2 scores and a field goal. That all has to be done in 3 minutes and 19 seconds. Second and 10. Miller, deep drop back, scanning, has pressure. Ness comes from the outside. Miller heaves it downfield towards the end zone. It's intercepted, but just dropped at the last second by Colton Bowser.
Receiver turned into D-back for a second there and stopped that INT.
Wanted Cameron Wells in the end zone. Bowser almost had it, and then he dropped it. But it's third down and 10. Do we see another end zone shot here for the Broncos? Again, trips out to that near side of the field. They're going to give it to Kachaver. Big hole to the 20-yard line. Pickup of 11 on that play. Broncos move the chains on third down.
Kachaver on the carry. Newt Schreiner and Braden Marks with the stop for the Cardinals.
First and 10 at the 20-yard line. Broncos find themselves right at the red zone door.
First and 10 for the Broncos at the Cardinals.
They enter, but can they find the treasure that lies inside the end zone? On first down, Miller fakes the option, keeps it himself, dances around. He's gonna be tackled at the 23-yard line, brought down by Bryce Mulvihill.
Just not much doing back there, unfortunately, for Miller.
By Bryce Mulvihill.
Loss of 1 on that play. Miller just dancing, thought about throwing, thought about pitching it out, just kept it himself and started dancing around.
He went through about every juke and jive and option he had and ran out of them.
And if Dancing to the Stars is looking for a contested, Jordan Miller, he'll throw. Got a man in stride. It's Keegan Folk. He'll be ripped down at about the 10-yard line.
It's a great ball.
And it'll move they'll say just short by a yard. 10-yard pickup on that one. Third down and 1. Miller out of the shotgun, trying to get the Cardinals to jump. Now he'll look to the sideline for a play, and Coach Bashard is going to call for a timeout with 1 minute and 37 seconds to play in this ball game. 24-7. Cardinals lead it. Back in just 30 seconds. Minute 37 left to play in this ball game. Brendan Bowen, Matt Jones, Caden Carbajo stick around after the conclusion of this ball game. We'll have our Elliott Insurance Group post-game show. We'll break down this game, look forward to next week, give you some scores from around the area, and much, much more on our Elliott Insurance Group post-game show. It's 3rd down and a yard at the 11 for the Broncos. 2 in the backfield. Miller out of the shotgun. They'll give it to Kachaver. Nothing. Stopped right in his tracks, I believe. That was Elijah Klobes there. Excuse me, that was Dotson on that carry. Braden Marks, excuse me, on that tackle. 4th down and a yard to go. Broncos will go for it. They're inside Cardinal territory in that red zone. Why not? On 4th down, Kachaver has plenty of room to the end zone. Touchdown, Broncos.
Like to see the Broncos still fighting. Had a huge hole for Kachaver. Lineman going down, blocking at the second level. Was able to pop Kachaver loose for the touchdown. Nice to see him still fighting. Got a lot to work on after this game, but love the Broncos' pride and still fighting up to the very last second.
The Eudora student section not letting the Broncos have any fun.
And you can tell they get muted because an administrator probably walks up and tells them to stop.
Aiden Odell on to kick the extra point. Snap good, hold good, kick is good. We'll stay here as we anticipate an onside, a crucial onside. Minute 5, anything can happen. We've seen craziness in this game.
If it's going to happen, it would happen now.
24-14 our score. As Kachaver converts on a 10-yard run. Broncos talking things over, and what if you're Coach Bashard in that huddle? What are you telling your guys?
I think you build them up, say good, good hard score when you're down, you're feeling, probably some of them are, feeling bad, and you got to build them up. Say, hey, you came down, you went and scored, and
just get it back and score.
Hey, let's try to execute here. Something we work on. Let's execute and see what happens. I mean,
if Eudora recovers here, the Broncos have 2 timeouts. Not a lot of time on their side, so it's still within reason. The Broncos have a fighting chance in this game, and they've kept themselves alive in this game. And that score showed it. They want to still be in this.
Keep in mind, at the beginning of the 4th quarter, it was a 3-point game, and I was starting to question, should Eudora have taken those 3 points off the board on the field goal that they made earlier when they decided to then go for it, but that's not the case right now. But
Odell lines up for the onside kick. 2 timeouts for the Broncos, 2 for the Cardinals. The lefty getting his guys ready. Kick is away. It's on the ground. Bobbled around, and the Cardinals are going to have it. And Eudora will have the ball with 1:03 to go.
Recovered by the Cardinals.
Right on their own 49-yard line.
Ball's right
just
at the 50
barely
line.
at the 50.
1st and 10 for Eudora. 1:03 left.
So 13 seconds, I imagine, is probably all the Broncos have with their 2 timeouts.
Right.
First down, Thomas keeps it himself. Still lurking past the 40. There he goes to the 30. Oh, the ball's out. Still on the ground. They're going to say.
Tackled by McKenna.
He was holding that ball out to the side. It's very dangerous. You could hear the Eudora coaching staff yelling, "Hold the ball, tuck the ball, protect the ball."
That run good for a Cardinal.
So Coach Bashard will call a timeout, and we'll take one with him here. 52 seconds to play. Broncos down by 10. How about the band getting active here, right. Jonesy? And cued off.
They missed their chance.
Had a solid groove going there.
They did.
Reminds me of K-State. Victory formation for the Cardinals here. As Cy Thomas will take a knee. And I think the Broncos will not take their timeout here. First down did the damage, and the Eudora Cardinals are going to stun the Broncos here at home, handing Spring Hill their first loss of the season.
Yeah, got to be a frustrating loss for the Broncos. You know, we don't know what goes on outside in the locker room, but definitely some stuff they need to clean up. I'm sure they're frustrated. But, credit to Eudora. Eudora played great. They manhandled both sides of the line, and they just out-hustled, outplayed the Broncos tonight.
Final score of this one, Cardinals 24, Broncos 14. Fourth-year head coach Drew Steffen and his squad control the line of scrimmage and take down the Broncos, who started off on a great undefeated streak, is suddenly halted in their first road test of the season. When we come back, our Elliott Insurance Group postgame show. Again, we'll break down this game. We'll look forward to next week, and we'll give you some scores from around the area. Back here on your home of the Broncos, Spring Hill Sports Live, presented by Strode Orthodontics.
For 50 years, Elliott Group has been your local insurance partner. With 5 convenient locations, Elliott Group is big enough to offer the best carriers, but small enough to know your name and your insurance needs. Elliott Group is more than just insurance. They're a part of each community they serve, with a wide variety of insurance solutions to help your unique challenges. Elliott Group, where they're there for you today and for years to come. Visit them at any of their 5 locations or at ElliottInsuranceGroup.com.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong?
Maybe you belong here, studying animal science or learning about farm and ranch management. Maybe you belong here as part of Hounds Hoops on the hardwood. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Hi, I'm Katie Casey, and I'm honored to be a third-generation realtor in our Crown Realty family. My dad and grandparents started Crown Realty in 1973, and since then we have grown to become one of the largest brokerages in the Midwest. We now have 8 office locations and over 150 agents covering about 20 counties across Kansas and Missouri. Reach out to us today to experience the Crown Realty difference, where we are committed to treating our agents like family and our clients like royalty.
Back here on Spring Hill Sports Live, now time for our post-game show presented by Elliott Insurance Group. Elliott has served area communities for decades. When you're out traveling to your next big matchup, be sure to look for an Elliott Insurance location near you. Learn more at ElliottInsuranceGroup.com. Brendan Bull and Matt Jones, Katie Carbajo back here. Broncos fall on the road, their first road test of the season, to the Eudora Cardinals, 24-14, a big statement victory for this Cardinals squad.
I would agree. If you're going to call it a statement game, I think we learned a lot about not only Eudora and Spring Hill. We learned a lot about the opponents we played. Topeka Hayden must be really good, and we've learned. Well, we know Bonners. It's a program that's just been kind of, just a struggling program over the last couple of years. I think we learned a lot about Tonganoxie, and Coach Bashard said in the interview, we're definitely leveling up this weekend. We leveled up a lot. Eudora is good. They have playmakers on both sides of the ball. They were disciplined, and they just hit us in the mouth, and we just couldn't recover. But you know what? That's stuff that's fixable. We can go correct that, and scheming and things like that, that's correctable. That's film.
And this Cardinals offense rushed for over 200 yards
well
combined.
Over, I'd say.
It was a 3-touchdown effort for Grayson Moody, who had a 5-yard touchdown in the first quarter. Then he had a 10-yard touchdown in the fourth, along with another 9-yard touchdown. And then, of course, that 43-yard field goal from the junior Caden Dunback.
Right. Yeah. They came to play. I'll give them a lot of credit. And, they just pounded the ball right at Spring Hill the whole game, and they got it done.
And for the Broncos, definitely the offense looked to find its footing in the second half, but still it was just couldn't find the extra push they needed.
Right. They just, it was kind of really a 2 steps forward, 1 step back. They make a play, and then something would happen. Make a play, something would happen. That little flurry where it got to 10-7, and there was just some oddities. The officials almost lost kind of control of that. It was just a little bit, it got chaotic. Both sides were getting fired up. Both sidelines were getting fired up. So I'm still not quite sure what happened on some of those sequences, but that was definitely the changing, the turning point in the game.
It was a 10-yard rush for Kachaver to put the Broncos down by just 10, and then, of course, the Broncos got on the board 10-7 thanks to that incredible just flurry of events. Brooks Bear took it to the house there.
Yeah, that was an amazing play by the Bronco defense, and they brought the heat tonight. And they made Cy Thomas really, really work for every yard and every throw he made.
That'll be our post-game thoughts. We'll step aside for just another brief moment as we'll give you some scores from around the area, and we'll look forward to what's going to happen next week. Final score again in Eudora, Cardinals 24, Broncos 14.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. Bronco fans can find us at 408 North Webster in Spring Hill or call 913-592-2050. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net. The industry's most advanced equipment and training, state-of-the-art diagnostic tools, and the small-town friendly service you expect. That's J&T Auto Service in Spring Hill. Eliminate the veil of uncertainty with J&T Auto's digital diagnostic process. This unique service ensures transparency, clear communication, and documentation, allowing for a quick and complete repair. To learn more or to schedule an appointment, call 913-592-6424. You can also visit jtautoinc.com. For more than 20 years, Gherkin Rental has been the place to go to get the job done in eastern Kansas and western Missouri. With a huge selection of quality equipment, from roll-offs to trailers, telehandlers to generators, power washers to popcorn makers. Experienced equipment professionals and clean, well-maintained tools to help you get the job done right the first time. Gherkin Rental. Stop by any of their 13 locations across the KC Metro or call 855-GHERKINS. That's 855-437-5367.
back here on our Elliott Insurance Group post-game show here on Spring Hill Sports Live. And folks, don't forget, we'll leave this up for the rest of the remainder of our post-game show. Don't forget about donating to Chef Timber campaign. Again, any support would help. It goes towards a great cause of scholarships and funding for the Spring Hill School District. As we bring you our post-game scores, I will start here in the Frontier League. Rock Creek destroys Bonner Springs, 68-0 the final score. I was trying to find a word, but yeah, I think that definitely sums it up. I mean, Bonner Springs still, again, just only 7 points down the season.
Yeah, they're struggling.
And it was Clay Center taking it to Lewisburg, 34-7, the final score on that one. Lewisburg falls to 0-3 on the season.
You don't see that very often.
Game still going on in progress. Chieftains up 33-15 on the Lansing Lions. Big night for the Chieftains on homecoming. Ottawa in Paola in Ottawa. Currently the Cyclones up 33-7, and Baldwin closed out on the Burlington Wildcats. Final score 35-0. Big win for Baldwin, 2-1 on the season for first-year head coach Jeff Melcher.
You see Baldwin kind of turn it around a little bit. I know they've struggled for many years.
And of course, this one 24-14 again. That final that'll wrap up my scores. And Matt Jones, what do you got for us?
The only one I've seen so far that's being reported is Hayes 8, Manhattan 10. That's about 3 minutes left. Haven't seen any scores on the other ones as of now.
I can gather a baser score for you real quick. As the Bobcats taking on the Thunderbirds of Shawnee Heights. As reported 22 minutes ago, Bobcats up 28-9 over Shawnee Heights. So this game could be over and final score may not have been reported. So
right, yeah, and that's the thing. It's hard when we're looking at various social media outlets to get the scores. So.
Of course. As we'll kind of preview what's coming up next week for both sides of these programs. For Eudora, they've got a date set with the Cyclones, who now roll to 3-0.
That's definitely your Frontier League game of the week next week. That's going to be a battle. That's
the
going to be a tough one.
Cyclones now the only Frontier League team undefeated so far, as they look to be the juggernauts to try and take down the Broncos. It'll be a fun matchup, like you mentioned, Matt.
Right. Yeah, that'll be a good game. And what do we have? Piper.
Piper, yes.
About Piper. Piper's 2-1, I believe. So.
Well, 1-1 heading in, pending on that final score against DeSoto.
Right. And they were up on DeSoto early, but again, it's a long game. So.
This is a Piper squad that they've always had plenty of athletes, and you can't let them hang around long, because they certainly will. They'll make you work for any win. They did it against Baser last week, and Baser is a team like Eudora, returning a lot of starters and a lot of experienced guys, over 20 seniors on that roster at Baser Linwood. For Eudora, they're headed into a matchup with the Cyclones that could determine who could possibly be a step ahead in the Frontier League. And for the Broncos, just kind of a preview of what the UKC is going to be like, and it'll be Coach Bashard's first test in the UKC.
Spring Hill definitely needs to hit the drawing board, trusting Coach Bashard for sure, and they're going to hit the film tonight when they get back, and the kids are going to see a lot. I think there's going to be some eyes open when they wake up tomorrow and be like, okay, those the first 2 weeks were probably not indicative of the next several weeks of football we're going to have to play.
Like Coach Bashard said in that interview, it's always going to be a scale up week to week, and certainly Piper is going to be a scale up for sure.
Right. They'll be competitive, and Eudora, I was very impressed with Eudora, well coached. They came out and took it to the Broncos, and at the end of the day, they could play this game 10 times and it could probably be 5-5 and, play this game down in Spring Hill and get some momentum. You never know. I really believe that the Bronco offense is better than we saw tonight, but you know what? You got to do it on the field and, back to the drawing board. That's okay. That's what football is all about.
We thank our fans for tuning in, our sponsors for making Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live possible. This has been a presentation of Bronco football here on your home of the Broncos, Spring Hill Sports Live. For my partners, Caden Carbajo, Matt Jones, PJ Harris, hope you're feeling better. We hope to see him next week in Piper. I'm Brendan Bolin. You've been watching Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live. We'll see you next week in Kansas City, Kansas. It's the Pirates and the Broncos right here on Spring Hill Sports Live.
From the gridiron to the hardcourt, the pitch to the mat, don't miss any of the action. We're there with live, local sports coverage at VarsitySportsLive.com.